What is up, Nintendo Land? Welcome to the Nintendo Open Air Podcast. It's nearing the end of 2017, and the year-end festivities are already kicking off. Soon we'll find out how Nintendo survives its first holiday season with the Switch, and of course that means upcoming holiday sales. But the one item gamers everywhere will be debating the most is Game of the Year. The official nominees are in. With the popularity of the Switch, Nintendo has made quite a few appearances this year. We'll be getting into that later in the episode, so stick around. But before we start with our topics, I want to introduce our panel tonight. We've got Mr. 828 joining us tonight. Eric, thanks for coming with us.
Hello.
And of course, there's the ever-faithful Momo.
It's a me.
And then, of course, I'm your host, Jason. So, one of the biggest things to drop in the past week was Hulu. Out of the blue, Nintendo decides we finally get Hulu.
Yeah,
Has anybody downloaded it?
I
have
do not
not.
subscribe.
Yeah, I haven't subscribed yet, but my Netflix subscription just ended. So I'm thinking maybe, but I wanted to finish Shin Megami Tensei or Apocalypse before they pull the plug on the 3DS first.
Do they offer a trial subscription for Hulu?
Yeah. There's
they
a
used
30-day.
to. I think they still do.
Yeah,
I think
might be
it's
worth
30
it.
day. I downloaded the app just to see it, just because I couldn't believe it. So I was like, I'll download the app just to see it and look at the login screen. I haven't used it, but hopefully it's a sign that everything else. Who knows? We've got a couple days before the Nintendo Thursday. Maybe they'll start just bringing out YouTube and Netflix and everything
Crunchyroll.
else.
Crunchyroll, yes.
Yeah. Crunchyroll, yeah.
Amazon.
The Wii U had a bizarre set. Especially, I always thought it was weird that the Wii U had was it not Napster, whatever Napster got bought by.
Oh yeah, they
Like
had
they didn't have.
Rhapsody.
I can't remember now.
think it was.
Yeah, Rhapsody. It's like they didn't have Spotify, which I think is probably a more popular one. But they got Rhapsody.
Yeah.
So in that true Nintendo form, we get Hulu, which I feel is. Well, I'm sure there's plenty of people that use Hulu, but I don't think it's as popular as Netflix. But maybe they wanted to do
No.
one that would be less of a strain on the system. Like maybe Hulu's a safe one to test out to start with, to see if they have any problems before they bring over a larger audience with Netflix.
That could be. I think Max was right that Hulu paid to be the first one, but who knows, right?
There could be some kind of partnership there, especially with Nintendo saying they're wanting to, lease out their IPs, I guess, to, some other forms of media. So it could be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, movies. Yeah.
Movies and like that at Universal and stuff like that. So.
Will Hulu be getting the Super Mario Brothers?
Oh, you said other media.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I was happy to see it. Like, more so just because it's finally they've got one. Like, we've complained plenty.
Well, what came out first? What came out first on 3DS, Hulu or Netflix?
I was thinking YouTube.
I think Hulu came out first.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I didn't have Wii U or 3DS day one, so when I got onto both of them, I think they already had Hulu and Netflix and YouTube.
Well, 3DS wasn't. They didn't have Hulu day one on 3DS. I think it was like a year into it.
I was thinking YouTube was always the first thing to launch. As far as
it might have been YouTube, but YouTube's not a paid one, so that's why I was saying.
Right. Oh, I see.
Hulu or Netflix.
That could be another. Well, yeah, I was gonna say that could be another thing. Is now I wonder if they have to do something different to support the YouTube Red. But I'm sure the YouTube apps are fine.
That would be a nightmare if it released on Switch as YouTube Red only.
Yeah, as a special service to our fans, we're only going to allow premium YouTube users for the first year. Yeah, I could see them doing a partnership or something like that. That sounds like a Nintendo thing to do.
Yep, YouTube Red. Mario's got red. Nintendo's logo is red.
Yeah, again. I don't know how that streaming stuff works. I know we've kind of debated back and forth. I don't know if Netflix pays Nintendo to have it, if Nintendo pays Netflix to have it, or It would seem to me like Netflix is the one who's
yeah.
actually, benefiting from having their service. They would want their service available on as many different platforms as possible. So I would
Yeah,
think that
Right.
I
they're
would agree.
probably the one,
But
but it definitely seems like Nintendo is the one who's holding it all back.
somebody made a good point. I think it was you, Momo, that Netflix is already on like every single device. So if it's not on
Yeah.
the Switch, it's not really like hurting Netflix. It's hurting Nintendo more than
Yeah, I think that might have been Z
Netflix.
that said that possibly. I don't know. But yeah, it's true either way that it's like
Yeah.
so I've heard some people make that argument too that I've got Netflix on every device I own. Why do I want it on one more device? And like my answer is just because I want it. That's why. It's like, how hard is it to just throw it on there, especially with the Switch being like a portable thing that you can take places, or Netflix now has that download functionality. So maybe if you wanted to take a plane trip or something, you might be able to download
You
something
probably
and
can't
watch it on
download
there.
it to your Switch though.
I don't
So
know.
who
It's got a
knows?
memory
Yeah,
card.
maybe.
Yeah,
You can
you
do
can.
it to your
Oh,
phone, right?
sure. Yeah,
That's true.
it's just like, but I mean, on your Switch, you can't download anything except games, right? Or that might change,
Well, right now, but you also can't watch anything except for games until Hulu came out. So
It's true.
right? But I think on the
yeah, I
Wii
don't
U,
know.
you still can't download stuff from
Yeah, I
it.
don't
Well, they
think
haven't
so.
updated it though.
The Netflix app was really horrible for a long time on the Wii U, and the Amazon one is still almost unusable. Like it's just very
It
slow
was
and laggy.
Oh, it was the
But
Netflix one was horrible on Wii U.
I thought it was for the longest time. They've updated it now, so it's got kind of a sleeker to kind of match with the other ones. And I used to have a lot of loading issues with Netflix, like where
Okay.
you'd be watching something, and then all of a sudden it would like kind of start rebuffering and just stick at 25% and just stay there forever. Then you'd end up having to like reboot the app. But
Uh,
I think I had
um,
issues like that with Crunchyroll as well, where
yeah,
if you just kind of get a black screen and then you'd have to restart.
yeah, it's like it
Not
couldn't
not
handle it.
frequent. Yeah.
But I mean, the Switch is a powerful tablet, and it certainly would be capable of handling Netflix. From what I understand, the Hulu app that is on there is with their mobile app, so that it looks pretty much exactly the same as what you download on a tablet or a phone.
okay.
Makes sense.
So
I
yeah,
might
I don't know.
download Hulu just for The Handmaid's Tale. I heard that's good.
Get a free trial. Check it out.
I think I already
Let
had a
us know
free
how it
trial.
runs. I figure if there was a problem with it, I would have we would have heard people
Definitely.
bitching en masse about it. So like Netflix
Yeah.
or
Well,
Nintendo
Z
finally gets streaming service and it's broken. Like I can
Z
see
had
the
a problem
headlines.
with Z had a problem with it, but that was because he hadn't.
I
I
don't.
don't know how it wasn't midnight yet or something.
Yeah, I don't know what his thing was. It was saying something like because it didn't have location services that it couldn't tell where he was in the country, so it wouldn't let him use the app. Or I don't know what he
Yeah.
was saying. We'll have to get his story on that if he wants to tell it next time he's around. But yeah, he had some sort of issue, but I think he fixed it. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the only thing that came to the Switch.
Before we leave Hulu completely, we did hear directly from Hulu as to why it took so long for
Oh, yeah.
Hulu
Yeah.
to arrive on the Switch, and they were waiting on Nintendo to sort of flip a switch as it.
Yeah, he said there was something that was basically built into the architecture of the Switch, but it hadn't yet been activated for streaming
Yeah.
services to use. So they
And
kind of
games
had the
don't need
app
it.
ready to go. Yeah, and the games don't
Yeah.
need this thing. So
Right.
I'm guessing it's probably just some sort of copy protection to keep you from
Yeah.
running it to a DVR or something and recording content off of it to pirate, like anti-piracy stuff. But
Recording that 30 seconds through the Nintendo Video Service.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a joke.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Hulu does not allow for video capture or screenshot capture. So
That'd be awesome.
you gotta look. It seems like they really have got that on lockdown. Like, there's like the eShop
Only
and
3
stuff
games,
you
or so.
can't take pictures of. Yeah, the video is even I don't know. It seems like it would be easier if they just built that capability into the hardware itself rather than the software, but it definitely seems like it's software side, like that they have to do it. I know Stardew Valley was talking about maybe adding functionality for video. Mutant Muds. With Mutant Muds, by the way, there's a like a Mutant Muds pack coming out. It's gonna have the game and the deluxe, and then like a puzzle game included. That's kind of like a, I don't know, it looks like a, a puzzle game. But I did see the other day they announced that it's gonna be able to run in what they call Tate mode, which is when you put it up straight up and down, so you can put it on the side.
Oh, nice.
The long way, like which I think Namco has. Namco Museum has some stuff that works that way, which I remember Z being frustrated with.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember had problems with Pac-Man.
Yeah, because the buttons wouldn't.
And unless you buy the stand, there's really no good way to play the Switch upright.
That's right.
But yeah, so that's gonna have. But I heard that's gonna have video capture as well. So hopefully people will just start adding it in. I kind of assume that people want to have those features available, especially since it's just free advertising on Twitter and I guess Facebook too.
Yeah,
that's true.
I've been surprised. There's a lot of software that I find when I post to Twitter just has hashtag Nintendo Switch, but they're not putting their hashtag for their game. I noticed both Doom and Rocket League are both like that.
I believe
It's just a hashtag Nintendo Switch, so it's like you have to manually add that other hashtag if you want it to be tagged to the game.
I believe that was the same way with Golf Story, because I remember typing it out.
Yeah. So only Nintendo gets to have their.
Well, I'm wondering about that now. I'm trying to think: is there a third party that throws the hashtag up, or is that just Nintendo?
I think maybe Super Street Fighter or Ultra Street Fighter 2 Final Challengers has like a
Ultra Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition hashtag. Oh, the Final Challenge. Yeah, I could see though as a game developer, that's probably the last thing on your mind.
Well, that might be controlled by Nintendo as well.
Yeah,
that's true. Probably.
I could see when you're trying to rush something out the door to get it on Switch, to be like, oh crap, we forgot to put our hashtag in there.
Oh no, it doesn't. Ultra Street Fighter, it doesn't have it just says hashtag Nintendo Switch.
Ooh, well, that'll be something we'll have to research now that we've brought it up.
That's right.
Is there a third party game that has its thing?
No, there's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
And if you're listening out there and you know of a game, be sure and hit us up.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know if that's a thing now.
That's a thing.
But of course, of our friends, up until very recently, pretty much everybody's only had first party games that they were posting anyway. And true. Especially now that video function's out, I don't even see still images hardly anymore.
No, everybody's got a.
It's all about the video clips.
Yeah, everybody's got a video clip of everything, which is kind of great in some ways.
Yeah, it's especially for something like Splatoon. There's so many like crazy things that can happen in that,
right?
That are unique to your match that you can just be like, hey, look what happened there. And I guess in Mario Kart, to some extent, you're like, look how many shells I got hit with within a 30-second span of time.
Yep, that's very frequent. Mario Kart. Especially,
and now you've got twice as many since you can hold more items.
That's true.
Deluxe. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen a whole lot of Breath of the Wild stuff coming up yet in my feed of people doing videos of that. But I'm sure there are people out there.
I think I've maybe saw 2, and they were both revolving around the same kind of concept. So
yeah,
entering into the conversation with the assassin. And then insta-killing them, throwing their weapon or something. Those are pretty amusing to watch.
Yeah, that's such a sweet clip somebody got. Maybe I'll post some snow bowling.
Yep.
But
snow bowling?
Yep. And of course, if we ever get the
spoilers.
DLC, I'm sure there might be some more posts.
Yeah, that's
get the
true.
DLC.
Hey, we got a Xenoblade outfit. What more could you possibly want?
That's right.
It's not the end of the year yet. They said you'll have it.
That's right. As we were
Not in
talking,
time for their amiibo though.
as we were talking just before it started, it is officially the second half of November, and we're ready for
That's
our
true.
Pocket Camp. So
Yeah.
perhaps we're ready for our DLC
late
as well.
November.
Yeah, it's late November, Nintendo. We want our Pocket Camp.
I've noticed, like I said, I've noticed a trend when a lot of times when Nintendo says something will be by the end of whatever, they mean at the end of whatever. Like they say it's coming at
30th.
yeah, it's like if they say it's coming at the end of May, it's coming on May 31st.
November 30th at 11:59 p.m.
We'll
Yeah,
have
they
we'll have zero notice. We'll just get up one morning and it'll be on Twitter.
I feel like Nintendo likes to do that, you know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's like you said. I think we were talking about this too. Like I don't understand why they think there's some sort of strategic benefit in not telling you. It's like let's make a 20-minute long direct to tell you all about this new app that we have coming out, and at the end we will announce that it will be coming eventually. And now we've got to be within 15 days of it releasing in the United States, and they still have it's like it's not important to them for some things.
They
Some
can't be
things,
bothered.
yeah, it's like they'll say like Xenoblade coming December 1st, and they let you know that like way in advance. But then some things they just don't care about letting you know. It's like Pocket Camp coming within the next 2 weeks, probably.
Well, talking about Pocket Camp, it is available in Australia. Has anyone seen anything about that? I mean, when it first came out, there was like a couple of, download it via the Australia eShop or whatever, or not eShop, but
yeah, I've seen a couple of like Nintendo centric websites that just kind of like put out some guides, like here's like basic. Here's how to get started with Pocket Camp and stuff like that. But I think they're waiting for worldwide launch before any of the stuff starts dropping.
I haven't seen anything. I heard a lot of news when it first came out, like, oh, you can get it in Australia right now, and then that was it. I didn't hear anything after that.
Such a Nintendo thing.
One YouTuber I follow, I think, did like an hour-long stream or more of that, and that's really all I've heard of it. I know with the early release like that of regular series Animal Crossing games, there's people doing like daily videos. Everybody's
and now his channel's been deleted.
Oh. Yeah, he's been demonetized by Nintendo, most likely, but
I guarantee it.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing the hype so far, I guess, is what I'm saying.
No, I mean, I think within our little group, I mean, I can pretty much expect Max will not be available for a long time once that comes out. I think Jason, you'll probably. I mean, I think we're all going to check it out, but especially the people that are big Animal Crossing are looking at it like a new game, kind of.
Yeah, and it'll depend on how it works exactly, how much Nintendo makes us wait for those timers that they've already introduced.
Yeah, and whether it'll be too tempting to spend money on or not.
It's true.
I think I can be strong, but you always think that it's easy to say before it comes out. I don't know, if it's a good game, I don't mind whipping a few bucks into some of those things.
Or $828.
Or whatever. Slightly like 128. I know. I think Eric said that he's looking to maybe avoid it, right?
No, because so many people are playing it. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna try to not spend a single dollar on it, but we'll see though.
You gotta have those. You gotta have those projects. I think we've been joined by Max.
That's right.
Max, you're just in time for Pocket Camp.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Which I was just saying that I think you're probably going to lose a portion of your life too.
Yeah, good chance.
Do you still play Newly, Max?
Huh? What was that?
Do you still play New Leaf? Do you still play Animal Crossing New Leaf?
No, it's been quite a while since I played.
Yeah, but
I played for my birthday, but that was it.
You're kind of the I don't know if I don't know how much stuff Jason plays, but I know you're I kind of think of you as the more mobile gamer of the group as far as you seem to like a lot of mobile stuff. You hit that Fire Emblem hard.
Yeah, Fire Emblem loves.
Yeah,
and your cat game. I haven't seen any cat game posts.
there's not been an update.
Yeah, I just had one the other day.
And then, I never see you post in Super Mario Run.
I played the free part, and that was enough. It's not my thing.
I think that's how everyone. I re-downloaded it the other day and kind of looked at it, and I was like, "Is this just still half off?" And I'm like, "Nope, it's full price again." I'm like, I probably wouldn't have bought it at half off either, but now I really won't buy it.
Yeah, it just sealed the deal. Definitely passed.
Now, when it was new, I might have paid $5 for it, but not now.
Yeah. If it was $4.99 at launch, I would have probably caved on that.
Well, that's what they should learn. Like, I kind of wonder how many copies they sold even when it was on sale, because I don't know that. I think people are just done with it. But
yeah,
if it was in the eShop for $5, you would have all bought it.
Yeah,
if it was in the eShop for $10, you all probably would have bought it.
Yeah, if this was a 3DS title or something of that sort, I think most of us would have bought it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if it was on the eShop, it wouldn't be a one-handed game.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it could be though if they did it. If they take the Joy-Con off and just hold the tablet in your hand, I guess we're gonna get games like that. I guarantee there's gonna be some mobile stuff.
You think we're getting some Joy-Con free games?
I think we could. I mean, they probably does that. That Voez game. I don't remember if that one uses Joy-Con at all.
I'm not sure.
That's a touch game. I could see them putting some stuff. Like, who knows? It might open up like just like a cell phone thing where there's just tons of mobile apps. I wish there was a way that they could keep those separated.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind it if the eShop was like, previously released mobile games for your Switch. Max, you picked something else up I saw the other day. It looked like a mobile game.
Yeah, it's like Sudoku, but it has gems instead of numbers, or you can have it with the numbers. But it was $5, and there's only 100 puzzles on there. So
only 100.
Only 100.
Did you blow through it yet?
No, not yet. I thought, well, there's only 100. I gotta make it last a while.
I forget what was the. Do you remember the name of that game?
Like something dumb sounding.
Something pictures. I'm always surprised. Like you download things onto your Switch, and I'm like, I've never heard of this game before.
Sparkle or Sparkle 2?
Sparkle 2. You know what's funny to me? I thought about this the other day. So you bought Sparkle 2, and there's another game now on the eShop that's called like Sparkle 2, like something else, like that's by a completely different company. And I was like, that's funny that if you type in Sparkle 2, there's two games that come up on that are by completely different companies. Physical Contact Picture Place was the game you got.
Yeah.
You think we'll ever get a Super Mario Run 2?
Oh.
I hope not, yeah.
Please, no.
I think that's going to be like the Wii U where there's going to come a time where you just won't hear about it anymore.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. That's gonna be one that they bury in their closet.
If it wasn't for the platinum points, I think we can all agree we would delete the thing, or at least I would. I keep hoping they'll remove that feature.
I'd delete it even with the platinum points.
Yeah, I keep thinking I should.
I just spend.
Yeah, I mean, I almost think that I've got. Yeah, everybody friend me in Mario Run. No, I've got 5 friends in there, so. That's good enough.
10.
I think there's another thing for 10.
All right.
Trying to get 10 people to friend you in Mario Run in November of 2017.
Like pulling teeth.
Yeah. They're like, wait, I'd have to re-download it just to friend you. Yeah. I was talking about earlier, like I had to get people to download Miitomo so that I could complete that challenge where you make a friend in person.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm just gonna download this on my mom's phone when I'm at her house.
Right.
She never even knew. I just downloaded. I was like, hey, let me see your phone for a second, Mom, and I downloaded it, created a fake thing, did the thing, and then just deleted it and gave it back to her and was like, here you go. All right, I'm going back home now. Thanks.
She's found that in the App Store and re-downloaded it and been playing it religiously.
That would be interesting.
All your answers.
Yeah. I'd like to look at some of hers, I think.
I'm kind of disappointed with the answers in Miitomo because people they're in a hurry, they don't want to give a long answer.
Yeah,
I'm guilty of that too.
You also got to be like, how much of myself do I want to give to my Nintendo public?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
Yeah.
What's the most embarrassing?
List all your sexual partners.
There's a lot of things on there about crushes and first dates and getting married and stuff. It's like, I don't discuss this with my gaming friends.
Yeah, I mean, the Miitomo asks the kind of questions that beg to be answered with a joke.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like
lots of none of your business. Lots of none of your business questions there.
Yeah.
I look at the question like, can my answer be pizza? Nope. Skip.
Yeah.
Skip.
Yeah. You can. Z's friend Conquest always has like awesome answers because it's always just like, I can't think of anything.
He doesn't answer. Like, no.
Or he'll just put no. Like, it'll be like, what's your favorite animal? He's like, no. I'm just like, but that's the way you play when you want platinum points.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
They should just make like a slot machine game that you can just pull for platinum points.
Yeah.
We would all download it.
Like, yeah.
I can play again in 12 hours. You set a timer on your phone.
Nintendo Video Poker. You can bet your platinum points and win more platinum points.
There you go.
See?
Then you could lose them all because who wants them anyway?
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many wallpapers you can handle.
Yeah, I took care of
wallpapers of the NES Classic.
Yeah, I feel like even with Miiverse gone now, and there's 30 less points a week, I don't feel like my platinum point bank is really hurting.
Yeah. Well, now you got Mario Run now.
That's true, and pretty soon we'll have Animal. I did notice that my Nintendo added a little icon for the Animal Crossing. Yeah, so
that too.
So it's coming.
I say we'll get a lot of the standard. Link this to your Twitter account. Link this to your Facebook account. Add so many friends.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it's not a daily thing.
It'll be a daily thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't
like with Miitomo.
Doesn't Fire Emblem Heroes have a daily thing?
No.
No,
that one caps out because it's just you got to clear so many different things, right? Like so many campaigns, and then it's just done.
No, Platinum Points was like sign up for it, get a friend and just stuff like that. It's not a daily thing.
Yeah, I think I think it had like complete whatever round 1 or round 2, like level 1, level 2, whatever.
Yeah, I think
it had those for a little while.
But they've never
played it, Mama?
I downloaded it and linked my account for the points. It's funny because it's
I never did that.
They're worthless, but we all do these things.
I know. I never finished that scavenger hunt for I started to do it and I couldn't find like even one of the things they were asking for.
Oh, on the My Nintendo site?
I, like, quit.
Yeah, they had a Fire Emblem scavenger hunt where you like basically had to click on profile names of.
Yeah.
You basically have to go to every single character and then scroll through their profile and see if there's like a little stone there. And if there's not, you move on to the next one.
Oh, okay.
So tedious.
It
So
wasn't
not worth the
hard. It
platinum
just took a
points.
while.
Yeah. And I don't know what they were getting at. That's another one of those Nintendo. Like, what are they getting out of this?
Yeah.
Do they think I'm reading the profile and really getting into the story?
They like playing a joke on you.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. They're
Website
like,
traffic.
it's probably like a bet inside the office. They're like,
website
dude,
traffic, yeah.
I guarantee you I can get at least 1 million people to do this stupid crap. He's like, no, you can't. He's like, watch, let's put it on the site.
It's sad to think
Yeah.
there's people getting paid to come up with these ideas.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's somebody's like, you got to come up with something fun for the website. He's like, what if they just go to like 20 pages trying to see if there's a glowing stone? I'm like, that sounds perfect. Just whatever, Bob. Just do it.
They always do this type of thing around E3, but it's never
Yeah.
quite that tedious.
Yeah, yeah. They had I remember the Breath of the Wild one sticks out where, was that this year or last year when they did
What was
the Breath of the Wild one?
thing?
I think you had to find like the little Sheikah eyes or something, or
Yeah.
I don't remember what it
On their
was.
website?
Yeah, they had some sort of. It was on their E3 website, I think.
Ah, I messed up.
Oh well, you didn't miss out on anything.
It seems like we all told where we found them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all started looking at the same time, and it's kind of said, "There's one here, and there's one here." And
Yeah, I wondered on the Fire Emblem one. I was wondering if they were actually randomized, but then there were so many that I didn't even remember which ones came from where.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
It's so funny. It's like they're so worthless, but everybody still goes through and does jumps through the little hoop for the worthless points so that they can bitch about how worthless they are.
We even buy cereal that we don't like.
Yeah. You've been buying cereal that you don't like.
I mean, it's all right. I eat it, but it's not my favorite.
That's that partnership working to their advantage. Somebody out there is eating 2 scoops because it's
right.
Because it's got a Switch ad on it.
Is Raisin Bran on there? Raisin Bran's part of it?
I don't know.
I wish it
Post,
was.
I think.
I do too.
Yeah.
It's only just like Honey Bunch of Oats and like grape nuts and something else that's awful.
You know, because you always hear little kids talking about how much they love grape nuts.
Definitely.
Like, it seems like they would have had more success putting it on a sugary cereal, but whatever.
The kind of information they require, though, they want the adults, which is apparently.
Yeah, you said it's like you're trying to get a passport.
Yeah, they wanted all your personal information, and then we'll email it to you.
Wait, Eric, how many boxes of cereal have you eaten so far?
2. Well, 1, and I'm not finished with the second one yet.
Oh,
so it's slow going.
I finished box number 3. You gotta catch up, man.
You bought Honey Bunches of Oats?
Yeah, I actually eat it though, so I was eating it before the Switch was on the cover.
Did you get the almonds or the
he's not a poser.
I go with the strawberry one.
The what? The strawberry?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We don't have that at my store. I gotta get that one.
Welcome to the Nintendo Open Air Cereal Podcast.
Hey man, cereal is for real.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the ramen and cereal. That's the gamers go to.
That's gamer fuel.
Right, and Doritos.
Doritos.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew.
And Mountain Dew.
If you play Xbox.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
That's if you play Xbox, right?
Xbox or whatever those games are for,
Yeah.
Not a Nintendo platform.
Yeah. I think we've covered Hulu very thoroughly.
So, but like you were mentioning a while back, there are some new things coming out to the Switch, and I believe you've played a couple of them, Mo.
Yeah, I've been having a good week. So it's like I blew through Odyssey last week, and then as soon as I was done with that, it was time to get into Doom. So I wanted to see what this low resolution thing was, and it's pretty good. I had a good time with it. I thought it was a good experience. I thought it looked fine. Like performance wise, I had a couple issues that everyone else has complained about that's had it, where there's if you've ever I don't know how to put things into terms that people understand. Like if you've ever heard somebody plugging a guitar into an amplifier and they don't get the cord in all the way at first and it kind of makes that sound.
Yeah.
That happens while you're playing the game. Just you'll be playing the game and you'll be shooting, and then all of a sudden just a really loud and it maybe only goes for like, less than 3 seconds or so, but it's just like, what the hell was that? And then there's other times too where you'll be playing and like the main audio of the game goes out, so you can't hear like your gun shooting and you can't hear like monsters roaring, but you can kind of hear atmospheric background stuff, or you can still hear like the music. It didn't happen like a ton, like in the whole time that I played it. I mean, these things probably happened less than 10 times, but it was something there. I expect they'll eventually patch that stuff. I don't think there's anything too wrong with it. I didn't really notice very many drops as far as frame rate either. Like, I know it's only running at 30. But...
Can we get a spoiler for how Doom ends?
For how Doom ends? Doom ends. No. It's
we're not the previously recorded.
It ends with
podcast.
it ends with you shooting monsters. I thought it was a really good. It's like, it kind of feels to me like it might be a one and done experience as well. I only played one round of the online multiplayer, which is kind of about like you'd expect. You're just a Doom guy and they're all Doom guys and you run around hunting each other instead of monsters. But it seemed like kind of a generic multiplayer. It did take a long time to download.
Was there any lag on the online multiplayer?
I didn't notice any, but I haven't really had too much issues with the Switch, really, as far as lag. But since I updated my internet connection, it's been pretty strong. But
good.
Yeah, I wanted to try the multiplayer just to say that I tried that mode. I didn't play the arcade mode at all. But as far as the main campaign, mode? I don't know I think it's just like a high score thing. Like, I don't know if it's timed where maybe it's like you just try to kill as much stuff as you can before it kills you, or I don't know how they do it exactly, but there is some sort of mode where you try to beat scores, I think, or get a high score. But I noticed on Twitter the other day there's a hashtag they're trying to get going that's Doom Million, where they're trying to get it to sell a million. Yeah, which I thought would be much easier to accomplish had they made the price a little bit lower. Like, I will say it's definitely a $60 game. As far as if you've never played it, it's a great experience. And it's probably worth the 60. It deserves to be a $60 game. But the fact that it's already been out for so long on other systems and the price has dropped on those systems, I would like to see them just drop the price on this. Because
so it is $60.
It's $60. Yeah, if it had come out on every system at the same time, I could see it being 60. But the fact that it's an older game, I feel like we should be able to benefit financially from. So it's going to drop eventually, and I would definitely recommend picking it up when it drops, or pick it up now, whatever. But I don't know if I might buy it if it drops. I was able to also rent that one because that's awesome. That's been the greatest thing for me lately is renting games. Like, I haven't done that since I was a kid, but I've been renting video games, and then it's like Doom I beat within 2 days. So I was like, hey, I guess I didn't need to buy it.
How long was the rental?
It is fun. I think I did the 5-day on it because I never know how long it's going to take. So like with Mario Odyssey, I rented that for 5 days too, and then beat it after 2 days. I was like, well, I guess I got 3 days to kind of play around.
I always hated to rent games because I would feel like I couldn't beat it in time. But yeah, 2 days, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
it's,
I put a bunch
on
of
the other
I
hand, it's
did
kind
put
of
a
sad
ton of
for
hours into
Odyssey.
it. Like when I remember like
Yeah.
the first night that I started playing Doom, I don't remember what time I started in the afternoon, but I remember being like, man, I'm kind of feeling like, you know how in Animal Crossing it'd say, "Hey, it's time to take a break." I was feeling like, "Hey, it's time to take a break," and then I look and it's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I played it straight through probably for 5 or 6 hours that first night, and I don't know how many the next night.
Wow.
I realized tonight on my Nintendo Switch that next week I'll be able to tell how many hours I put into Odyssey. First played 8 days ago.
Yeah.
But I'm getting there. The other thing that sucks about that Nintendo Switch parental control app, if you have it and you play a game, you can see how long you've been playing it, but it doesn't record that information retroactively. So, like, if I downloaded that app and turned it on, I could see how much I've been playing since I downloaded that app.
Oh, okay.
But you can't go back and say, how much did I play this game last week? So, because I tried that, I was like, I just want to know how much time I actually spent.
Does it tell you down to the hours and minutes?
I think so. Yeah, I think it tells you down to hours and minutes.
Will it show that on your friend list or no?
No, it just shows in the app, so you can yell at your kids. The thing that bothers me the most about that is that it puts a thing on your Switch, like there's a big orange logo on your main screen where your icons are that says parental controls on. and that bothers me.
What were you gonna say, Jason?
I was going to say, why can't we just get that on a Switch and not have to download the app?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
That stuff's coming. I saw some mock-ups.
Coming in the update.
I saw some people doing like mock-ups, like this is what the Switch screen could look like, and it had like just a bunch of little icons at the bottom, which is probably what it will look like. You know, they've got like the
on the
eShop.
Switch XL next year.
No, we'll get stuff eventually. They weren't ready for it yet. But I don't know if do other systems have that. Max has got other stuff. Does PlayStation have an activity log of some kind, or
I'm
Xbox?
sure they do.
Yeah, I think so.
You can see how much time you've got. I guess people have to know because people always say, "Oh, I put this much time into this game."
Yeah,
So I guess they'd have to. I would say this isn't an unreasonable request for people to have, right? To just be curious about how much time you've played.
Yeah, we have it on the 3DS. I'd like to have it on.
Yeah,
and on
very
Wii U.
detailed on the 3DS.
Yeah, the 3DS. 3DS can tell you how many steps you've taken with the thing in your pocket.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm just asking for a small portion of that information. But yeah, Doom was a very fun game. Like for me, not having played Doom, like since I played the original Doom when it was out on PC in like '93 or so, and then when I was a kid, I think around '94 for that Christmas, I got a Sega 32X extension for the Genesis, and the only two games I ever had for it were Star Wars and Doom 32X. I don't think I ever had the Super
play
Nintendo
Doom
one.
on a thermostat now too.
yeah. I mean, it's not as high tech as it used to be, but it was so awesome to play it back then. I mean, that was before the first person shooter was the first person shooter. You know, it was the Wolfenstein
Did they
game.
have that term?
No, for years they called them
term when it.
They called them Doom clones forever.
Doom
clones. They're like, what kind of game is it? They're like, oh, it's a Doom clone, and that meant first person shooter. And then at some point they were just like, it's a first person shooter now. But like Wolfenstein 3D was, I mean, it was a whole new genre. But I have it on Game Boy Advance as well. So I've been a fan of Doom. I wanted to play it when it came out for the other systems, and I'm glad I had a chance.
You have Doom on Game Boy Advance?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't know that was on there.
Yeah, I love Doom, man. It's so fun. So it was cool. It felt like a game, and it's like very much a single player experience where you can play and you don't have to worry about like any online crap or loot boxes that you have to buy extra stuff. Everything's just built into the game, and you just play it. It's a beautiful thing.
We're not going to see any Doom DLC?
I don't think so.
All right.
Wouldn't have killed him, though, to throw the original Doom or Doom 1 and 2 or something in there as a little bonus. Nintendo people like that little retro stuff. But that's fine. We've got enough versions of that out there. But yeah, I thought it was great. I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5 if I'm using the 5-point scale. That puts it, for the record, in my opinion, higher than Mario Odyssey. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But as far as visually, I had no issue with it.
More game time out of it.
I was really worried that stuff would be like really blurry or hard to tell things. Like, I understand it lost some of the shine and some of the texture from the other systems, but it was a completely playable thing, and having not played it on another console, I didn't notice any difference. Like, I still thought it looked pretty good and played just fine. I didn't notice any slowdowns or anything like that, really. Maybe once or twice when there's a ton of enemies on screen, but
that's good.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Check it out, everybody. If you're into blood and guts and blowing stuff up and ripping people's heads off and whatever, it's a good game.
You can rip heads off and
you can like
rip
twist
heads off and do.
You can twist necks off. You can stomp on people's heads and crush them. You can use a chainsaw and saw their heads off or saw. Yeah,
that's like interesting. You said that that now it's rated M, but when it first came out, it was rated T for teen.
Yeah, well, this is a different game. The original game was rated at least on the Game Boy Advance copy that I have, was rated T for teen, which I thought was funny because that's one of those games that back in the 92, 93, 94 era, that's when they kind of were having the public debate of violence in video games. And it's like back then, Doom kind of was like, before Mortal Kombat, Doom was kind of the standard of what violence in video games was. Like, you shoot someone and there's a splash of red. You leave a bloody carcass behind.
When are we going to see another Turok Dinosaur Hunter game?
I don't know. We haven't even got those on the virtual console.
That's true.
I think those ones are lost to the license thing.
Probably. Been replaced by Monster Hunter, I would assume.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know who made that game. It wasn't Nintendo, so.
No, I don't remember who had that title. Oh well. But yeah, that's my Doom review. I say it's a great game. Lots of fun, even. And like I said, I think most normal people, it might take longer than 2 days to blow through. I just did nothing but play Doom for 2 days. So it was time well spent.
Of course. Glad that Doom delivered.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, there was one more game that came out this week, which I know probably haven't had a lot of time with, but Rocket League did launch last night.
Ooh,
Monday night, right?
Yeah, I picked that up. I started downloading it as soon as it was available. I was watching the eShop, and I was looking because that one did not have like a preload feature, which I was kind of hoping that it would have. So I had to watch the eShop for the exact time when it dropped, and I saw it disappear from the recent releases, from the coming soon. And then I went to recent releases, and it wasn't there either. So I had to go out of the eShop and then boot it back up, and then finally it was there.
Updates in real time. I'm surprised you didn't have to restart it, but you did.
Yeah. So I ended up restarting, and there it was, and I got it, and I'm having fun with it so far. Like, I knew that it would be difficult because since you're playing cross-play with Xbox players and PC players who have had a lot more time in the game, because I literally have never played it before. But I feel like I can still sort of be competitive and contribute in some way. It feels like it's a game. I mean, there definitely are very skilled players, but there's also a lot of just kind of like, it's a ball and people are just driving cars and rocketing through the air and hitting this ball. So you never really know where it's going to land, and sometimes you get lucky and the ball ends up in front of you and you can just ram into it for a goal. So it's a fun game. I can see what the appeal is. It's definitely worth the $20. I played it for about 3 hours last night, I think, and then a couple hours today.
But it has loot boxes.
It does have loot boxes, which I'm wondering if this is the first game on a Nintendo system with a loot box. So it basically,
I would say yes.
First I can remember.
Yeah.
It just kind of, at the end of each match, you kind of get awarded with little things like you might get a decal for your car or a new set of tires, or a different like type of paint. Like, ooh, now you've got sparkly paint, or now you've got a semi-gloss finish paint that you can use for your car's color. But sometimes it'll say you've got a loot box. So when you go to the loot, it's like, do you want to open it now? It's like, yes, I do. And it's like, oh, you don't have a key to open it. You have to go to the eShop to get a key to open it. So I think it's, I don't remember if I said it was $2 or $1.49.
Yeah.
But then if you buy
$1.49 for one, $5 for
and then it's
five.
$5, $10, and $20. Which, to think like $20, you're already in the price of the game. So far, I've only got 3 of those crates, but they're going to remain unopened for now. And then in the crate, it says, these are the items that could potentially be in the crate, and it shows like 15 items. So you don't even get to choose what's going to be in there. You're paying this $2 for a random chance of getting one of these things that's in there. So
that's evil.
And none of this adds to the game. It's just purely aesthetic, right?
Yeah, which that's the one thing I like about Rocket League is that everything in it is completely aesthetic. So if somebody's been playing for 2 years, or somebody's been playing for 2 days, there's no technical advantage. It's not pay to win. Everybody's on an even playing field as far as the equipment that they've got to play. So if somebody is going and just kicking your ass, it's because they're good and their technique is good, not because they have some sort of advantage over you because they spent money. So that's about as fair as it gets. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. I think it'll be fun. But I also can feel like I'm a detriment to people's team right now.
How does the matchmaking working? Is it completely random, or do you seem to get with other new players, or?
It's kind of hit and miss. It seems like from what I've noticed right now, if I start a brand new game, it tends to put me mostly with other Switch users because you can see, like, when it matches you up, you can see their me and their name. Right. So I'm assuming if they've got a me, they must be on the Switch. Right. But then, and it's usually pretty quick. I mean, I think they say matchmaking can take up to 2 minutes, but I think I've gotten in usually quicker than that, maybe a minute or so. So it's pretty quick that everything kind of gets set up and gets the action going. But then after the match, it's like, do you want to continue playing or do you want to exit to the menu? I notice if I continue playing, many times that's when I start getting matched with people from other systems. And it's like I might be like listed as a rookie or I think now I'm up to semi-pro, but then some of the people will be listed as legend, which I think the ranking is just based on how much time you've got. I don't know if it has to do also with like how many goals or what your percentages are, but it's a little scary when you're listed as a rookie and all of a sudden you see legend because it's not going to go well if they're not on your team. But yeah, I think it's cool. It's another one that I'm happy to have. Just like with Doom, I'm definitely glad to see a game that people have heard of that's never been associated with a Nintendo platform before coming to a Nintendo platform. And judging by the eShop, it must be doing well because I think as of right now, I think it might have crept into the number 2 spot. Like Mario Odyssey and Rocket League, I think it bumped Stardew Valley temporarily out of the 2 spot. And then Doom is in the top 5 too. I was noticing that out of the top 5, I think Mario Odyssey is the only game that's made by Nintendo in their top 5 bestsellers right now.
It's pretty impressive.
Wow.
But we don't know.
Sonic's in there too.
But we don't know if that's just eShop totals or if that includes
Yeah, it
physical
seems to
sales.
update daily. Yeah, because I was also surprised that Skyrim is like in the top 10 bestsellers, and that's just a pre-purchase title. So that means that it's selling pretty well as a pre-purchase which that's a game you probably do want to preload because I'm guessing it's a fairly large game.
Yeah, probably.
You'd know better than us. Are you still planning on getting it on Switch?
Yeah, I got pre-ordered.
Oh, did you? Okay, I was wondering because I know with the PSVR version coming out, I wasn't sure, but I fear you'll just buy them both.
We were just
Christmas is coming up. As if you needed a reason.
I know. Actually, my husband and I were just talking about it like last week. Well, do we really need the PlayStation?
Does he play it too?
He probably would for a while if we had it. We seriously discussed whether or not we should get it, and we decided not to.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, maybe one of the cats will die and you'll need something to take its place. Like, nothing could quite fill my heart like PSVR. But I did notice a funny trend that Doom comes out for the Switch, and then Doom VR comes out on PlayStation, and then Skyrim's coming to the Switch, and then Skyrim VR is coming to the PlayStation. So
yeah, I noticed that too.
And then LA Noire has finally released today on the Switch, and then it's getting like a remastered version on all the other stuff. Although it is not in the best sellers on the eShop, which is probably a bad sign for people wanting Grand Theft Auto in the future. But I also noticed right now it's pretty lazy in the eShop because there's not even a description of the game. It doesn't have any screenshots. It doesn't have a video.
Really?
Wow. It just has like box art that says LA Noire, and then tells you what the memory card specifications are that you need to be able to run the game. It doesn't even tell you what kind of game it is.
Wow.
Just like, it's LA Noire and it's $50, buy it. Like, I think most people probably know what it is by now, but I've not had really any hype on that game. Like,
no.
I think
for whatever reason.
And it's being overshadowed by some recent releases. You've got Odyssey, you've got Rocket League. It's coming at a bad time in a lot of ways for it to be noticed. This
stuff would have been great earlier this year.
Yep. And it would have had everybody would have been playing it.
Yeah, I mean, if it was ARMS or Doom, it's like, no, I mean, Doom's is doing okay, I guess. LA Noire, though, I don't think it's going to do as well, but I think it's a good sign that obviously Rocket League for right now is doing well. Stardew Valley has done amazing, apparently, because it's always like in that number 2 or number 3 spot in the best sellers.
Yeah.
Even though it is in that golden $15 price range.
Oh, it's 20? Is it 20 for Stardew?
No, it's 15.
No, it's 15.
It's 15.
I think it's helped a lot.
Which I think is worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, the people that get into it really seem to put a lot of hours into it. And that's also one of those that people are happy to play over and over again, too.
I'm happy to hear that the better seller out of the kind of older releases on the Switch are the more budget price games. Or I hope that continues to be a trend and games will continue to be released at a lower price point.
Get more stuff. Yeah, it's like I don't really want a ton of games that are like $5 and less, unless they're like Virtual Console.
Right.
But yeah, I'm glad to see. That's what's cool about indies, and the big indies. Like Rocket League seems like it's a AAA title because it's one of those indies that's kind of risen to that level. As is, I'd put Stardew as well. Like if you look at overall indie games that are, well received, those are two of the big ones.
Right.
So I'm glad to see that stuff selling because it's at least, if nothing else, it's showing that Nintendo fans do have a taste for something other than just happy little colorful Nintendo games, we want those
Yeah.
too, but we want to play what everyone else is playing.
Yeah.
Talking about happy little colorful games, I thought there was a rather interesting bit of news I picked up this week. There's a game coming not for your smartphone, not for your systems at home. It's actually an app for Google Home and Alexa devices. And it's Pikachu Talk. Basically, you can talk to it, ask it questions, and it only answers you in Pikachu.
Who wouldn't want that?
I think this is one of the most mind-blowing things I've seen in a while. So you can say, hey, what's the weather today? And it would go, Pika, 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 Pika. So.
Yeah, it's somebody's going to buy it because somebody's going to think it's funny.
Yeah.
But like I said, if this thing does that well, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Chewbacca version coming soon. We'll just find a bunch of unintelligible characters to fill up the thing. It almost is reminiscent of when remember when people actually had navigation systems that were separate from their phone?
Yeah.
And you could pay for like celebrity voices?
Yeah.
This is like a stupider version of that.
They should have a Pikachu navigation system too that causes people to get lost. And
you're just like, am I supposed to turn? And it's like, Pika, Pika. I'm like, I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
Or 1 Pika for left, 2 for right.
Yeah.
You go the wrong way. Pikachu.
Apparently it's getting to the point where they just trust that Pokemon, they're like, okay, let's just see what we can sell them. Like, we know Pokemon fans are hardcore. Let's see what we can get away with.
I will admit,
I
did play Magic
Go
Arp
ahead,
Jump.
Jason.
I did play Magic Arp Jump for a while, and it was a game about a fish jumping out of water. So
that's one of those ones that didn't take off. There's that one. There's the other Pokemon game that's name escapes me. That's not Shuffle.
Pokemon Duel, right?
Yeah, whatever the other one is that's on mobile that it kind of came out and nobody cared about. So I guess there is a limit.
It has its followers to an extent, but not a huge success.
What was Pokemon Duel about?
It was kind of like a card game, but you used battle figures, which are based on real life battle figures that exist in Japan. So it was kind of like a very simple game, I guess.
Didn't quite catch fire like Pokemon Go did.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
I wonder how that's doing. You think there's still people getting into that today?
It's still broken.
Well, it's become so long between updates. Kind of the last hopeful thing we got was for the Halloween event. We finally got Generation 3, and it was only 3 Pokemon and their evolutions, and it said more to come in December. So a lot of people, I think, have got bored with the game, and even the new stuff they've added, like raids, have become bored with it.
Well, I think that even after a month, that had such a significant drop in players.
But still, you still see some people playing, and there is still a following for it, but it's really the hardcore players that are left. Hardcore Pokemon.
It's hard to keep that up in winter.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're at in the country. Wouldn't be as tough for Eric.
Yeah, it's true.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an Alexa, and I don't have anything that uses the Google Home. So I don't think I would be into Pikachu.
I know someone with an Alexa, but I can imagine them getting that.
You know somebody that has it?
Yeah.
But you don't think they would be into Pikachu?
No.
To me, it's like the Billy Bass singing fish on the wall. It's like in the same kind of category as that.
It's like you see it the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute for about 2 seconds, if that, and then you move on. But I don't know. If the price is right, somebody will get it just to say that they have it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think I should take it a step further and put it on your phone. So when you're like talking to Siri and you're like, hey Siri, and it says Pikachu. Yeah.
Wouldn't you say hey Pika?
Oh, you just
Hey,
call it
Pikachu?
Pikachu. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
there
guess
you
you could say either.
It's how much? Did they say how much this thing is?
I almost want to
No.
think it was free, but maybe it's,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know that they mentioned a price. Sure.
Free seems like just about the right price for this.
I would agree. Yeah.
I guess it's good promotion for, because so many people out there haven't heard of Pokemon before. And if you haven't heard of Pokemon before, well, this is the kind of thing that's going to get you interested.
That's right. If you have an Alexa at home and you haven't heard of Pokemon, now that you can download Pikachu talking on it.
Yeah, you'll get fascinated. You'll buy 3DS or 2DS or Pokeball 2DS XL, and then
That's right.
run out and get Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Download Pokemon Go, play it every day.
It's the master plan.
That's right.
It'll work out. When I don't even know when that comes out. I know it's still coming, I think. Or is it out now?
What,
I don't know when the Ultra. Yeah.
It comes out this week, I think. Doesn't it come out the 17th?
Oh, really?
Pokemon Ultra not interested?
Yeah. They've been revealing some new tidbits lately, and I can't say that any of it has excited me.
Yeah. I think.
What was one of the tidbits?
I think I mentioned last week about the reveal of Team Rainbow Rocket, and then they've revealed some of the it hasn't really been revealed, but the game file has been data mined. So, yeah, this seems like the first game is just version 2.
Now I remember hearing that. The Rainbow Rocket brought it all back to me. Yeah, they discontinued Miiverse at just the right time.
Exactly.
Before the Rainbow Rocket started blowing up everywhere.
I wonder. Oh wait, you won't be able to post to Twitter either, because I don't think you can take screenshots of Pokemon games, right?
I still don't understand how that works. It seems like there's some games you can post from a 3DS to Twitter and Facebook.
It's only ones that you can take a screenshot of. So like
thing.
Animal Crossing.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Animal Crossing New Leaf, Miitopia. What were you gonna say, Jason?
Now, in the last Pokemon game, the Sun and Moon, they had photo spots, and you could save photos. And I believe that was also in X and Y. You could save photos to your 3DS.
So you could post that to Twitter?
I think so. I'm not positive.
Well, weren't they worried about could you take a real life photo in those, or no? It was just in game?
It was just in game Pokemon mostly, yeah.
Okay, yeah. It would let you post those then.
But you could post a photo of yourself on your Twitter. And that's perfectly fine.
That's right. That's not moderated by Nintendo.
Yeah.
But before we move away from smartphones altogether, Splatnet 2 did get an update. And as Splatoon fans, we do have to mention that, I think.
Yeah, it just they kind of redid the UI in a very slight way that I almost didn't realize had been updated. They've got like a little menu at the bottom, so you can. I mean, really, I don't think anyone really uses it for much other than ordering clothes occasionally, and then if you want to know, like I use it to like a salmon run going on right now, yes or no?
Yeah.
Well, that's what was
they
added
that.
Yeah. It was scheduled for Salmon Run, which I don't know why that wasn't on there from day one, but
yeah.
At this point, that's pretty much all I use Splatoon 2 for is doing Salmon Run and then the Splatfest right now. I've kind of gotten bored with everything else. Luckily, there's a lot of new games coming out at just the right time. I mean, I still pop into Splatoon daily for a little bit, but yeah, the having not used the Splatnet app except for the last kind of couple of weeks or maybe the last month, there's not much there. I wish you could use it for voice chat all the time. They might as well just have that be an option. instead of, because it's like mode restricted to, I think, only league mode, and I think you guys said you could do Splatfests with it.
You can do
as well.
Splatfest and Private Battle.
But I guess that's also a league mode. Like,
and Salmon Run.
Yeah.
You
can use it for Salmon Run?
Yeah. Pretty sure. I think that's how I first used it. I don't know about Turf War. I'm thinking no.
But only if you're playing with friends. Mode? So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It has to be friends. You're not just talking to randoms.
Because that was kind of one of the big differences with the ranked mode this time out, is that you can't play ranked with your friends.
Yeah, that's what's really killed it for me. I mean, you can in the one certain mode, but that was what we spent a lot of our time in Splatoon 1 playing, was getting a group together and going.
Well, was that might have been no, I guess you could kind of play. You could play randomly in the first one, not necessarily on the same team though. If you were playing in, much like how it is now, if you're playing Turf War, you couldn't guarantee that you'd be on the same team, so you had to do ranked to make sure that you'd all be together. Yeah,
that's right.
Baby steps for Nintendo.
Although I think they're trying to like solve a problem, but I think I've kind of took a step back with that. Oh well, I'm sure we've hashed it to death in the past.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they let you talk to people at all, you should be happy.
I guess so. There was
one vast improvement.
There was one other little tidbit of news about Splatoon, and that is there's going to be some new gear that is being released via a serial code in Japan in the magazine Koro. And it's Emperor gear, which looks pretty sweet. I'm not really sure what it's. I think it's based on the manga version of Splatoon or something. But, pretty sure it's going to be non-orderable, and we don't really see that many Japanese players here in North America, so not sure how it's going to turn out for us.
Yeah, because I remember there was some stuff in the first Splatoon game that I think was Japan only.
Mm-hmm.
But in the first Splatoon game, you could play internationally with people from all kinds of countries, so you would regularly see Japanese people. And if they had that gear, you could order that gear. Now, in this one, I'm pretty sure it's regional. So
yes,
largely. We're not going to be able to see. I mean, I know we've got I've got one friend that lives in Japan that's on my Switch friends list, but I still don't know what would happen if I tried to do like a league match with her, if it would allow that or not. If you could actually get her to play Splatoon.
Does she speak English?
Yeah.
Yeah, she speaks English.
All right.
So she's in Mitomo. I mean, she's in our Mitomo group, so we've seen her. But I don't know. My question would be: can this Emperor gear somehow get to us, or maybe it'll be a My Nintendo reward?
Well, that would be nice.
You know,
in Japan,
it's the same old story with Nintendo, where it's all like Japan gets all the cool stuff. We've heard it a million times before. It's not even that great, but I'll take it. I'll take more clothes that I won't ever wear in Splatoon just because I can. So we'll see if it gets distributed here. I would think at some point they will. Did we mention there's a new Splatfest as well?
That's
Did we cover that last week?
No, we didn't.
You're following
Sci-fi
us on
versus
Twitter.
fantasy.
That's right, Sci-fi versus fantasy. If you're following us on Twitter, you already know.
Yeah.
We're supporting Team Sci-fi. Most of us.
Yeah, I think so. Not Eric.
That's right. Certain ones.
He's one of those Lord of the Rings guys.
Yeah. Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I was calling it the Star Wars versus Lord of the Rings Splatfest. Could be Metroid versus Zelda. As someone else had pointed out on Twitter that I saw walking around the Splatoon Plaza.
Sorry to say the Zelda is what I'm seeing mostly in the plaza.
Yeah. It's still, at least we're getting some more inventive Splatfests than some other countries we could name.
Overhand or underhand toilet paper?
And there was Europe just had warm breakfast versus cold breakfast.
But did you see Japan?
Croissants on the cold breakfast.
Did you see Japan? Do you put lemon on fried food?
Yeah.
What in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? No.
So just had. Well, I forget what their last one was. Like agility versus something. Like
Stealth or something like that.
there's been some weird ones.
Yeah.
Agility versus stamina.
There we go.
Yeah. Hi Z.
Glad you could join us, man.
I see.
You weren't supposed to call attention to it.
This is the Nintendo Open Door podcast where friends just kind of drop in from time to time.
Hey, I have legitimate excuses.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I don't. We got to stop talking about Splatoon.
That's right.
Nintendo, give us something else to talk about.
So,
Yeah,
Arms.
yeah, that's right. There's supposed to be a new ARMS character coming up that they've been revealing very
Ooh.
strangely. Blurry
Really?
video.
Dark Springman?
I
It's
don't.
not evil, Springman. No.
I'm not sure. I haven't watched the videos. It's got that Biff character in it, and I can't bring myself to play.
As long as he doesn't
yeah.
speak.
The Biff character?
Yeah, the little hand. It's
Oh.
yellow. Does all the commentating.
Oh, I
He's
didn't know
somehow
that.
loosely associated with ARMS. When's that thing gonna price drop already? Come on.
What
That would-
rule number is that on the internet that if it exists, there's porn of it?
Was it 30?
30. What was it? 34?
39?
Because I'm just
32,
thinking an
39?
animated talking hand
Yeah.
like that's an obvious.
I'm thinking Hamburger Helper. What?
Yeah. I
The
always
two of
think
them doing, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wasn't thinking of that. Thinking of Hamburger Helper, but not that. Thanks for putting that in my mind.
He helps more than your hamburger.
Yeah. Good helping hand. Yeah, ARMS is that was one just like with Splatoon that they said they were going to keep trickling content into, and I guess they are. But of the friends that I've got on my Switch that own ARMS, I almost never see anybody on. So it would be a nice experiment to hop into ARMS sometime, Z, and see if there's anybody else playing right now. Like,
Oh yeah, there.
Yeah.
Whenever there is, it's people
always
that
get a
can hand
match.
my ass to me. Yeah.
yeah, well, I figured that's probably what'll happen. Is there's some group of people that bought ARMS and they're like, oh my god, I am so awesome at this game and not other games, and I am just gonna sit here and pwn everyone.
And this is all I play all day, and
Yeah.
I destroy all comers. Yep.
Well, it is.
I'd imagine there is still a group of people out there that buy a game and have that game and only that game for a while. That aren't out buying crazy stuff like we do.
Maybe. Here's what I've noticed on ARMS when I do go online. Most people seem to be playing 2-player co-op. Because you can tell if it's 2 people on a team. So yeah, in most cases, it seems like it's 2 people in a living room that are going online and playing as a group.
Well,
like I was the oddball being the single. Yeah, I mean, it definitely plays into what they wanted people to be doing with ARMS. Of course, there's just not very many of them.
I thought that was an interesting option for Rocket League that I don't think any of the other. I don't know if any of the other modes have that, but you can have local matches on Switch, which I don't know if you could do that on like the other console versions or not.
Can you do mixed local and online? No, I don't think you can.
No, that's pretty unique to Nintendo. What else? I have Mario Kart 8 on Wii U, and probably on Switch too. Had that where you and your friend could just be in the same
you can
room
do
and
2
go
people.
Online.
Yeah. You can do it with Smash. You can do it with ARMS. I was pretty sure on the third-party front you could do it with Fast RMX, but I'd have to dig into that for sure.
Yeah. I like options. But yes, ARMS got an update, and just like Pokemon, nobody cares. Or at least no one here does, really.
Since we're talking about stuff that we really don't care that much about, apparently Universal has a deal with Nintendo for a Mario movie. And taking a brief poll before the podcast, I think we all decided we probably do not want to see that come to fruition.
Yeah.
Nah.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I can say my daughter Mario as a character, and she watches on Netflix. She will watch the old Captain Lou Mario cartoon. So I bet if they did a Mario feature, just like anything else, I guess it's the people that did Despicable Me and the Minion stuff that are signed on. I don't know if this is. I guess it's not a rumor. It's technically confirmed. It was the Wall Street Journal that did the article that said it was at least in development.
If it's done right, maybe. But like, when's the last time you
like
saw
straight
Mickey
to video,
Mouse?
doesn't it?
When's the last time you saw
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse in a full feature film? Right?
Yeah.
Disney doesn't do that. That certain characters or Bugs Bunny, they're out there, but
I think
but what you
Fantasia
remember,
was the last time we saw Mickey.
yeah,
Mouse
and he wasn't
in
it wasn't a full segment about him. He was just in one segment. So right, it's like those characters work better in short bits. Like right, all the Warner Brothers, like the Bugs Bunny cartoons and Tom and Jerry cartoons. You remember there was a Tom and Jerry movie, there was a Bugs Bunny movie, but the ones you remember were the good short little bits. And I don't know, like Mario's good in a little short movie format, for cutscenes and maybe like a little 5-minute cartoon kind of thing, but I don't see Mario stretching out for a 90-minute movie.
We've learned over time to accept the woohoos and it's a me's, but to do that for 2 hours
would be rough. Yeah.
Well, would this be fully animated, or would it be like CG, or what are we, or live?
I don't know if we really know for sure. I'm imagining it's going to be like a full CG kind of thing.
I heard in the article that said they wanted to do animated because of the failure of their live action one, but that doesn't rule out CG either.
But we're also going to have the
Toy Story-esque, whatever, along those lines.
The threat of the SJWs might have to go after the Italian stereotype.
Did they go after the sombrero in Odyssey?
They did.
They did? All right.
Yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, they were like, Mario is appropriating culture. So yeah, you never know. It seems like a bad idea. I can't imagine a Super Mario movie like being number one at the box office.
Yeah, I mean, like, what is there? There's not much.
Kids movies do. Kids movies do well, So
I think Eric's hitting on what I was thinking, which is how much of a developed character is Mario? I mean, like with Mario Odyssey, those that have played through it. I mean, there's just a very basic story. Go save the princess.
I bet you they make him a plumber again after we just learned that he hasn't been a plumber for years.
Yeah, Mario got a demotion. Yeah, he's back to his old job. No, with Metroid Other M. Too bad T is not on to speak to that one, but Other M was their attempt to take the Metroid franchise, which part of its charm was that it had such a kind of a bare storyline. And then
give it
a story, and people rejected it. And I, you know what I mean? It's like in a lot of cases, it's kind of better if things are left a little more vague and undetailed. Like Felix the Cat, right? Felix the Cat had a magic bag of tricks. You know nothing about this magic bag of tricks. There could be, you know what I mean? You have no idea what the technology is or how the hell he produces stuff out of this magic bag of tricks, right? Versus Doraemon in Japan is an earless robotic cat from the future who has a, virtual portal in the pocket in his pouch that he can pull stuff out of. Now, to me, growing up as a kid, right, this is just kind of a difference between American and Japanese culture, but it's just, right, sometimes it's better not to know.
Right? Yeah. But they're
sometimes
also not
when you over-explain something, you ruin it.
Sadly, they were making Metroid for us, but this one I feel like is not for us. This is because a kid will watch anything. Like I'm sure you, like myself, have discovered there are many movies that we used to watch when we were kids, where when we watch them as adults, we say, "Oh my God, I can't believe I thought this was a good movie." Like when the big DVD boom started happening and they started putting out every movie in the world on DVD,
And
I'd rebuy these movies. Yeah, I'd be like, "Oh, this is a classic, only $5."
And then you look back 10 years later and go, "Wow, that movie's terrible."
Police Academy 4 is not a classic. Yeah. Well, maybe it is. But yeah, some of that stuff doesn't hold up. I don't know. I think we're still a ways away before we have to worry about this, but they might be it'll be moderately successful, I guess. They're trying to get Mario out there because, just like with Pokemon, people just don't know Mario's a thing. So this will just bring more people to their brand.
The other question I guess I have here is, will this be like a Japanese movie that'll eventually be released with English subtitles? Will this be an English movie?
I would see it being worldwide. I think they would have to do it I think it's Universal that they said was going to be doing it.
Yeah, I would assume it's going to be targeted as much to Western audiences as to Eastern.
Yeah.
That being said, I hope it is distinctly Japanese. I hope it's produced, with a Japanese crew and whatever. And then
we're going to see Mario eating Pizza Hut pizzas, and there's going to be like little weird nods to like he's going to get in a Mario Kart at some point, or there'll be some sort of weird Donkey Kong joke. It's like a wink to the parents who are old enough to remember the crap.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe he'll jump in a giant boot at some point. No.
I just don't.
It's going to be what we expect it to be.
Cameos from other series characters, right? I would imagine it's going to be like a Nintendo Land movie.
I wonder if they'll do an action figure line.
Oh, that.
Oh wait, we already have one.
Yeah. Maybe they'll make Mario the movie. Super Mario. You think they'll call it something generic like just Super Mario the movie?
Probably.
I could see
Super Mario movie.
Yeah. I'll wait and see what the subtitle is before I pass judgment on it.
Super Mario Super movie.
Yeah.
Adventures in the Mushroom Kingdom.
I'll put money right now somewhere in the trailer. He says, "Let's a go," or "It's a me."
I think "It's a Me" is played out. I think that gets more ire from the Italian community than "Let's a Go."
We'll see.
We'll see.
People are going to talk crap about it no matter what. We just wanted to be the first. But who knows? They might not ever see the light of day either.
That's
movie
true.
Stuff gets at some point they'll do a focus group and be like, "Hey, would you go see a Mario? Hey, you guys are on My Nintendo all the time, getting those platinum points, buying that cereal. Would you go see a Mario movie?" No.
If I could for platinum points.
Yeah. Well, and they might. You never know. I mean, Disney.
With My Nintendo.
Yeah, Disney has a rewards program that allows you to take a picture of your movie ticket from a Disney movie and get like reward points. So they could do something like that for My Nintendo. Go see the Mario movie. Get 50, or maybe they'll even have something where you can check in with your barcode from the Mario movie theater.
In about 10 years, Nintendo will be caught up to that kind of thing, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And this could, since it is being developed by Universal, it very well could be sort of taken from a mainstream movie and put into something for the amusement park.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing is they've said that there's a movie, but they haven't said, I mean,
feature length.
Star Wars had a Star Tours movie, at the
there was Shrek 4D, Terminator 4D, whatever at the various Universal parks.
For all we know, this could just be something for the Universal theme park, and
which would be neat.
Never see a theatrical. Yeah, that'd
Some
be fun.
sort of 3D interactive,
Yeah.
like you're riding through a Mario World kind of game thing. Like if you guys ever played at Disneyland the Buzz Lightyear ride.
No.
It's
You're
it's
the
a
only
ride.
one close to a Disneyland.
Oh, sorry. Well, it's a ride, right? But you get a gun. You're given a little, laser gun or whatever. So it's basically, it's like a Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, like old school. You're just in a little car going around a track, right? But it's a shooting gallery. And it keeps track. Everybody's got each car has its own like tracker on it, right? Of how many hits you get. So you get a score at the end. And you get like a rank and whatever, and it turns a ride into a game.
Yeah.
And it's a really neat idea, and it's a lot of fun. You have something to do instead of just like
you're interacting with it instead of just having it happen to you.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of just watching stuff go by, you're actually shooting at things, and things light up and move as people hit them and whatever. So it's like this whole. Right, and there's a dozen people in each area at any given time as the little cars are rolling through. So there's just a dozen people shooting through the whole thing. That's the only real precedent I've seen of kind of a ride game type thing. But I imagine those are the kinds of things that they're looking at, and I could totally see some sort of like you said, Mo, with like Star Tours or whatever, where there's some kind of Mario movie that's tied into something like that.
Yeah. Well, being that it's Universal and Universal's doing the theme park, that could very well be a thing. But I don't know. I don't have a lot to say on a potential Mario movie other than it's not sounding like a slam dunk from the beginning, but I guess we'll see what it is before we say for sure.
Oh, and the other random side note, the other cool thing that ride does is at the end you punch in your email address and it'll send you a pic of your your end of the ride picture with your score like printed on the bottom of the picture.
You have to pay for that. They get you for an extra couple shekels for that.
I'm trying to remember. I think that was actually free.
Wow.
Whoa, that's scary.
Which for Disney is totally unheard of. If you wanted to print out, of course, that costs money.
Well, yeah. I mean, I remember.
I think that was
Six Flags. They take a picture of you when you're going down something, and then at the end of the ride, they're like, "Hey, we took a picture of you. Do you want to buy that picture?" I'm like, "You took a picture of me?"
Yeah, for like $15.
Yeah.
I need to be permission to do that.
Yeah. I didn't sign anything.
No, they still charge you for like going down Splash Mountain and all those kind of pictures.
Yeah.
This one, it's like you're not going. There's nothing exciting really happening. It's just like, a shot of, like I think it's just a candid shot of you shooting or whatever. They just randomly snap a few or something and let you pick one, I think. So it's nothing terribly exciting, but yeah, it seemed like it was a new deal at the time. That was years ago. I'm an old man now. It has been a while since I've been at Disney.
Yeah. Those days are coming up again, my friend.
Yeah, a few years.
Be back in there. So, Mario movie next.
At the beginning of the podcast, we did promise some winter holiday goodness. First on the list is starting to get some listings for Black Friday sales. Is there anything that you're hoping will make the sales list this year? Would make you get out in the cold, make you brave the insanity?
No.
Early morning.
No. I mean, Doom for $20, I would totally, I'd go show up at a store to buy that. But I'm not, I don't. Nintendo has burned me with Amiibos and Wiis and I just don't get up in the morning to line up anymore. I don't haunt websites for 5-minute windows anymore. I just don't.
There's the Cyber Monday thing is almost bigger for video game deals and stuff.
That's true too.
Like Black Friday is you stand in line and you get a TV. Nintendo's I thought was really funny how they've announced for Black Friday that they've got a 2DS at the same price a 2DS is, and they've got a Switch bundle at the same price that the Switch bundle is. Like they're just like, these aren't deals; these are just things that you have for sale. I don't think there's anything that can really get me out in the crowds anymore. But I'll peruse the Cyber Monday stuff and see what's doing, if there's any good deals.
Black Friday is like for the type of people that still rent from Redbox.
Yeah.
Who here still rents from Redbox, by the way? Who am I insulting?
That's
Still rent from
Jason, I
Redbox.
believe.
Thanks.
and I rent from an actual video store, so I'm although I'm only renting Switch games.
Dude, yeah, but see, that's the thing. No, your scenario is totally unique, Mo, than the fact that you're able to rent Doom for $7 and play through
on
it.
On the day that it launched.
I launched it, of all places. Like they just your little local shop, somebody there is hip, dude.
I know. And well, yeah, they've got a good and I wonder too, because it's like they open at 10 a.m. So I'm like wondering, does some employee have to go buy that and bring it to the store, or do they actually get on a distribution list where they're like, I would like 1 copy of Doom for my store, please? When I was there, it's so funny. The guy tried to sell me some kind of deal where he's like, if you just pay $7, you'll get all your game rentals for half price for the next 3 months. And I was like, I don't anticipate that would ever pay off for me.
But wait, you don't need to rent 2 games.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And you've done that in the last week.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But hey, it's not every. You let me know if there's another Mario Odyssey or Doom coming out the next 3 months.
That's a way better deal than buying a game and then like returning it back to, or trading it in or whatever. That's the best deal ever. You've played all the way through Mario and Doom, or at least as much as you wanted, for $7 a piece.
I do feel a little bad that I'm not supporting Bethesda or whatever, but I'll buy that game when the price gets right, probably.
When you're ready to replay it.
Yeah, and the kid really enjoyed her time that she played with Odyssey, so I may end up having to get that just to have her play. Unfortunately, I know the price will never be right for that.
For a moment, I thought you were going to tell me you let your kid play Doom.
I did too.
No, she didn't. She didn't have a shot at that. Although she might have gotten. I don't know. The 2 sticks might be a little too confusing for her.
Yeah, I don't think we were thinking about like how complicated the controls were. Man.
Oh, I know. She would think it was awesome. She'd be like, "Did you see that head come off?" No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she's ever seen anything that graphic before, so I don't know if it would disturb her or fascinate her. I'm kind of scared to find out.
Or if she would just have no idea what was happening. That's a fair.
That's a possibility as well. No, I think I think it's cool that I can rent stuff. I know Jason was actually saying before the pod tonight that he's hoping that Switch games start coming to Redbox.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I mean, I've had free rentals from them for, video games, and it's always been whatever PlayStation, whatever Xbox. So I think
the systems people actually own.
Yeah, I think Wii was the last game system, Nintendo game system in Redbox.
And on a completely sort of mostly unrelated note, the video store also has so they've got the Switch stuff, and surprisingly they've got a really great selection of Wii U stuff, but they also have the faded box cover Wii games that have just been sun faded forever. And they've got 3DS games, but they've also got regular DS games. And there were some of those rented out.
Wow.
Like I was just kind of looked because I was like, are they selling? I don't even think they're that. It's like stupid, like Hello Doggy Pets, like just the generic games. Yeah, like they weren't even good games. But I was like, people are still renting DS games. Because I was wondering, like, I can't imagine they're making much money renting Wii games or regular DS games. I don't even think any of their 3DS stuff was rented out, but they did have
Just
like
Dance
Samus.
2017.
Yeah,
man.
Just Dance 2018 for Wii. Rented.
That's true.
Mhm.
That's true. They actually did. Just Dance 2018 was rented out last time I was there.
For Wii specifically?
No, for Switch.
Oh.
No, I don't. I wonder if they've got the Wii version. I didn't look.
Must.
They're pretty on top of it. They're pretty hip.
Yeah, that being said, if I had a local Red box that had Switch games in it, I would browse. I might rent something.
After you just made fun of Redbox users. Yeah, it's a nice option, but I don't know.
Well, there's games like Snipper Clips or something. That would be a fun game to rent because I'm pretty sure you could finish that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
that's
would be
perfect.
perfect.
The single player you could rock through for sure.
That too, but I'm thinking
you could rent 1-2 Switch for your party.
I picked up a few of these. And I picked up a few of these multiplayer games, and you play them for an hour or two for the evening, and everyone has a good time, and then you never touch them again.
Yeah.
Right.
And
that's one of those times when it would work. That's true.
Oh, but the coins.
Are you regretting your 1-2 Switch purchase, Eric?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You could put that one on eBay.
Horrible. I downloaded it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're a download only guy.
Yeah.
That is a shame. Did you get there is a new update for it. They added video support because that's worthwhile.
Really? I gotta try that out.
I paid my $10 for it.
Yeah.
$10?
Sure.
Oh,
wait, no, I'm sorry. I got Snipper Clips and 1-2 Switch mixed up.
Did you get the new? You got the new Snipper Clips DLC?
Yeah, I paid my $10 for the Snipper Clips DLC, but I forgot there was an update for 1-2 Switch. You had to add video, you can record 30-second clips of it telling you to fire.
Yeah. People are going to be like, "What even is this game?" Yeah.
Wait, like how do those 30-second click? How does that work? Because on the screen, they don't really show anything except the guy standing there.
I think we talked about that a little bit last week. That the action primarily takes place off screen.
Yeah. So
there's no point to any video recording on 1-2 Switch.
That's true. That's hilarious.
It's like you can finally record 30 seconds of instructions on how to play a game.
It at least shows who wins, right?
Although, wouldn't the baby crying one be fun? Because isn't that got the baby on the screen?
Yeah,
I suppose.
So you could just annoy people with a screaming baby video on your Twitter.
See, I don't need to use my Switch for that.
Yeah, you get a real one. See, and I think my daughter might like that. Like, she might be into the baby game or something like that. I don't know.
All right, how comfortable are you letting her hold your Switch?
Yeah, not very. I don't even let her know that it's available as a handheld. Like, I always just
thinks it's a box under the TV.
Yeah, because I just put the Joy-Con onto the little grip and hand that to her, and then just keep it out of sight, out of mind. I don't want her to even know. What happened was I made the mistake of I was like, she was watching the Mario cartoon, so I was like, I'm gonna show her the commercial for Mario Odyssey to see if she would like that song.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows a picture of the Nintendo Switch with the red and blue, and she's like, "Hey, remember that thing that you have that's like that with the red and blue controller? I want to play that." And I was like, "Oh, I thought she forgot that I had that." Every now and then she'll get into something, and then if you just don't show it to her for a while, she'll forget that you have it, because I always keep the Switch in a separate room that she doesn't have access to, so it doesn't get smashed. But I ended up, that was during the time that I had Odyssey, so I was like, I'll let her play Odyssey, and she played in assist mode for quite some time and had a good time with it. But I don't know. Does anybody have any other thoughts on Black Friday, or whether there's anything that would get you out there? Maybe if they had a Wii U.
I've never.
Did you guys already? I was gonna say, did you guys already address the fact that some of the games that just came out in the last week or two are already going to be on big sales on.
No, we didn't. I know that
Like
kind
the
of
new
burned
Sonic.
you up a little bit. Yeah.
I just paid $40. Well, I didn't pay it. I didn't pay anywhere near
Yeah.
that, but that is theoretically $40 anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, is going to be like
you got
20,
some black
20 or
market
25.
Sonic dealer we don't know about.
No, just right. Stacking Best Buy discounts and deals and credits and
he has to have some reason to be able to buy that game.
I haven't seen too many reviews on that, but the only one I really saw was just basically saying that it was kind of okay, but really short.
And that's probably a good thing for me.
Yeah. They were basically like, it's basically a 3-hour game.
Great. And kind of okay is a glowing review for your average 3D Sonic.
Kind of okay, 3 hours long, $60 or whatever it was.
No, it was 40 retail, but it will be like 20 in a week or two.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's that one. Sega loves putting their stuff on sale.
There were a couple of the other ones though, that were all part of this batch. What was one of them's getting another $20 off? I don't remember if it's Wolfenstein or Skyrim, something. One of the other big name third parties that just came out. I'll have to look it up.
Oh, for Switch?
Yeah. On that link I sent around earlier, but now I'm talking out of my ass because I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's right. I don't remember, but yeah, I could see how, especially Sonic Forces, like for anybody who did buy it, which I'm pretty sure all the reviews that I saw were just like, if you're going to buy it and you own anything that's not a Switch, buy it on whatever's not the Switch, but don't buy it anyway.
Of course.
Just because, we're going to hear forever until the day that the Switch, finally is hung up and retired. We're going to hear like, oh, this is the least technically, proficient version. It's like
the Switch catch or the Switch tax or whatever.
They're always going to say that. I think they are shifting, or some of the people I see reviewing stuff are kind of shifting their the way that they spin it, though. And like now they're just like, but remember, this is a tablet, and you should be thankful that this thing runs at all.
Like the Doom review.
Like all the Doom.
Were all like, it's so amazing it even runs that it gets 9 out of 10.
It's like I can't believe it's like when Eric said that they can get the original Doom to run on like a thermostat. It's like that's how people look at the Switch. Like, did you know I can play Pong on my calculator? Like,
did you know I can play the 2016 Doom reboot on my Switch?
Yeah, like it is like that.
Yeah,
but it's like I said, I thought it was very well pulled off though. But I could see people that bought Sonic like you, knowing that within a month it's going to be on a Black Friday deal. Although I also don't see anyone standing out in the cold specifically for Sonic.
There's a GameStop back in my old town, which isn't that far away from where I am now, but there's a dude and like, cause it was my local GameStop. So I kind of knew that the guy's there, and I never saw this guy, but they used to talk about some dude that would show up in a Sonic suit for every single Sonic game release. Always in a full costume.
But that kind of guy probably already bought it full first day. Gonna wait for the Black Friday discount.
That's true.
That's kind of what I think about that. Anyone that would buy Sonic Forces, that would stand out in the cold for Sonic Forces, probably would have already bought it at launch. Because
probably the only thing that would get me out in the cold to stand is if there was possibly a sale on the either Pro Controller or Joy-Cons. If Nintendo, I do not think that would happen.
That's true. Yeah, that would be nice if they.
I need something new because unfortunately I've bought too many of all that crap already.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I got that stuff, but if you could get a sweet, do you have the yellows? I forget.
I split a yellow with Max. Yeah. Any news on our reds? Still no news, right, Max?
Nothing. When he gets there.
I'm not going to get it in time for Thanksgiving. That was my whole goal, right? So I could do 8-player or 4-player arms with 8 control. Excuse me, 8 controllers, but I only have 7. So
I
one
can
Pro
send you back the
controller.
yellow-
What?
I can send you back the yellow one.
That would be that would be the worst roundabout trade deal ever.
Since you're a big fan of having a single color of a controller, you could always buy a single out there for
single what?
$50.
Single
A single gray. The only ones I think they sell is single or gray, right? Here in
That's
the
all I've seen.
Yeah, probably. Technically they do have blue and red, I think, as well, but I've never seen them in the
I've
wild.
never seen them for sale here.
Yeah.
I remember seeing like placeholders for them on websites at launch. I don't think I've ever actually seen them otherwise. That being said, I bet you I could get them from the UK site. Now I'm thinking about it.
Definitely.
But at $50, you might
check
as well
that out.
just bump it up and get yourself another Pro controller. Maybe a limited edition Xenoblade one. Oh.
What am I gonna do? Am I gonna? You can't play. It would be awesome, but you can't play ARMS with 2 Pro controllers.
You can.
Can't?
What? You can't hold a Pro controller in each hand and play ARMS.
No, I'm saying no. You can play it with one Pro. 2 people can play it with one Pro controller each.
Wait, yeah, you just said that 2 people play with one Pro controller.
Pro controller is my preferred method of playing ARMS. So.
I understand. That's not the preferred method when you got a room full of people and you want to make them all look stupid.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess so.
You gotta have some gimmick to make anybody play ARMS.
Well, it's a good. Every year at Thanksgiving, I bring some goofy thing. Like the last couple of years, it was the Wii U, right? And everyone played the crap out of 8-player Smash because there's a bunch of teenage and college age kids at my family Thanksgiving every year. But Uncle Z, shall we? Uncle Chester. I don't know. I've just always filled in that role of bringing something entertaining to mess with. So the Switch is the new toy this year. I've got plenty of good fun multiplayer stuff to play with it, but again, the best stuff is when you can get a bunch of people to stand. And this is why the Wii took off, and this is why I'm still a fan of all this motion control gimmick BS, is because still to me the most fun is when you can get a bunch of people to stand up and jump around like idiots in front of the TV, and everyone has a good time,
Nintendo knows that. I mean, that's in every single one of their commercials and everything. I don't think it happens as often anymore.
Happens once or twice a year around here,
Yeah. Which is cool.
But then there's Mario and Zelda for the in-between times.
Yeah. And there's even some motion controlling in Mario.
Waggle control, man.
Waggle. Yeah.
Well, I think it's time for us to move on to our final topic of the night. And that, of course, is the Game of the Year Awards. The nominees for the Game of the Year Awards. So, of course, for Game of the Year, we have nominated this year both Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. What do you guys think? What's their chances?
Zelda's got a real shot.
Yeah.
Odyssey is a an honorable mention. I think.
Yeah.
Do we all agree on that?
Yeah, I was talking a little earlier about, like, I wonder if any of those companies would take back their 10s for Odyssey now. Like, I don't know if there was just a big hype train going. Like, it's a really good, solid game. But I don't know if it's really a 10. But I could see if it was any other year and there's a Mario title like Odyssey, sure, it's in the running. But with Breath of the Wild there, I know there's the other games, or let's see, what there was Persona 5,
Horizon Zero Dawn,
Zero Dawn, which that's a big game too,
and then Player Unknown's Battlegrounds.
Ooh, that's a real competitor right there. That is, and it's like Rocket League but bigger than Rocket League. Do you guys all? Does everyone know
I'm not
kind of the
familiar with
background of
that.
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds?
No.
It's
No.
you're
That's the
basically
one that I didn't have any knowledge on.
you're basically it's kind of this definitive battle royale game where you're dropped on an island with 100 people, and one of you will survive. And you're right. There's random weapons and items that you can craft and whatever scattered around the island. You're dropped like naked, or basic, with no weapons or whatever. So if you like spot somebody, your options are to run or fight them with your fists,
It's
or
like
go
Hunger Games.
find a weapon. It basically
Is
is. It
meets
it's
Lord of the
effective.
Flies or something. Yeah.
It's multiplayer online.
Yeah, it's 100 people online that
So
that all drop into an environment.
every round is like half an hour long, or
I don't know how long it lasts. I think it just lasts until one person is left.
okay.
So I don't know how long that can go.
I don't know.
And there's a whole variety of these kinds of games. Like a lot of games now have added this kind of mode to them. But this PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is kind of I don't even know if it's not even necessarily the original. This idea has been done before, but it's just kind of right. They nailed it. Yeah, it's perfectly executed, and it's just gotten I think it's a tiny little developer, and it's just gotten huge.
Yeah,
And
I don't know. I
Persona,
can only imagine. Oh, sorry.
Persona 5 is one of the contenders too. Is one of the Game of the Year nominees.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was for a different category.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. There's so many categories on that thing.
I don't know. Well, first of all, the Game of the Year is I think at least last year or something. I know Nintendo. I think Reggie is on like the panel that votes or whatever. He's like a member of the Academy. But
Nintendo's
I
a
don't
sponsor.
know. Yeah, they are. They always have like a little Nintendo spot at the Game Awards. So
And that's why
who
Breath
knows?
of the Wild and Mario Odyssey is in almost every category.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the thing is that's I don't know. I wonder if Street Fighter got a nomination for Street Fighter 2.
It wasn't.
But I know Breath of the Wild, I feel like is just such a special game, and everybody. I mean, when that came out, everybody was in it for hours and having completely amazing experiences.
When's the last time that the entire world was focused on anything?
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go, I guess, actually, another Nintendo related property, but right, it was just it was a moment in time for that period, after Zelda came out, for those few months where just the world, right, it was there, and there's only been a handful of events, I think. Well, like there's been several, I guess, over the years.
Like I feel like Zelda might be a game of the last 5 years. Like, I don't know what's come out that I can recall that's definitely for
been
Nintendo.
as big a deal.
Yeah.
Super Mario 64, like 96.
Right. Well, like I think I said in one of our chat rooms, like you
Fallout
always see
4.
like with corny movies, like where they'll say like an achievement, and you're like, well, it's a movie, but it's not really an achievement. Zelda, I feel like, it's an achievement. Like that was something really special that I don't expect to see for another decade or so. Like and it's kind of over now until the DLC comes out.
It was a moment. It is done. I know what you mean. And even when DLC comes out, it's cool to go revisit.
Because that you can't experience that for the first time again.
Yeah.
Like you could with Titanic when it got re-released. But yeah, Breath of the Wild, like the first time you go through it, it's amazing, and all your friends are playing the game, and everybody's having a completely different experience. And like, oh, I saw this. Did you see this? No, I haven't seen that yet. I heard there's this, and it's like, it's.
I mean,
damn, that's a good game.
It hasn't been seriously. I can't remember since like elementary school that I would be like calling up my buddies and like, dude, did you hear about the giant horse?
Yeah.
Dude, there's a giant horse.
Have you seen the dragon on the mountain?
Yeah, like yeah. Oh,
No.
yeah. No, totally. Like all that kind of stuff. Like I haven't talked to friends about a game like that.
Yeah.
In 20 years,
Yeah.
probably.
You mean you have
how often do we talk about games in a positive way?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Sorry, Jason.
And there's a lot. Don't get me wrong. We all have, I think we all recognize the limitations and the gripes of Breath of the Wild, but just for what it is, it's just a beautifully polished, perfect example of, you know what I mean? They set out to create what they were going to create, and they friggin' nailed it.
Yeah.
Nintendo secret sauce in a nutshell.
Yeah, totally.
And if they would put some sort of, after you beat the game, an option that you could toggle weapons to be not breakable, it'd be an 11.
Jeez, that's a wish list for the final DLC pack.
I know. I so badly want that. Like, just for fun. Like, hey, if you've got an assist mode in Mario where it'll just give you 6 hearts and put arrows on the ground telling you where to go, give me a little kid mode where I can't break my weapon.
Let me choose. How about this? How about give me a toggle? Give me a little checkbox saying, this weapon will break on next throw or whatever, right? Okay, sure. Because sometimes it's fun to just throw it and watch it explode on the bad guy, right? But otherwise, yeah.
I almost think if they had made the reward for doing the master trials that the master sword never breaks, I might have been more motivated to go through it.
Agreed.
I would have.
What is the reward? It just powers it up.
It powers it up. I think it's because I think starts out as 30 power and then it goes up to 40, 50, and 60. I think is the final.
Well, but sometimes it's like why does it get extra charge? Like sometimes it's 60 by default.
When it's around like Ganon and stuff, it powers up to I don't know what happens there.
That was the biggest disappointment in the game to me is when I got the Master Sword and discovered it's not really unbreakable.
No, but it's still to me the best weapon in the game just because it comes back and I don't have to hunt it down again. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I
just started sticking to the guardian weapons that you could go get easily from the shrines, right? Or the ones you could go buy from the what's his name? The little scientist guy.
Oh, the ancient labs.
Mm-hmm.
Which I never.
Yeah, you could always easily restock a ton of ancient weapons and shields and stuff, and from the guardians. Right in the shrine guardians.
Which I forgot totally about that. So I guess Doom isn't the only game with a chainsaw in it that came out for Switch this year.
Really? There's an ancient chainsaw?
There's like an ancient blade saw, I think they call it.
Blade saw.
Oh, I forgot. You're absolutely right. Yeah, no, I bought that thing. It breaks too fast.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Like everything else. But still, it's so. See, here's the true achievement. Even with breakable weapons, we all loved that game.
Yeah. Oh, I know. We all had our gripes. Again,
we could overlook it.
There are a lot of things to point to and say, "Oh, this sucks," but damn, this game is good.
Yeah, it was. And like I said, it's a really special, like especially the first time because you can the surprise and wonder of exploring and being like, oh, there's this over here. This is cool. This is cool. There's something all over that game, and that map is humongous.
Every single nook and cranny is loaded with Nintendo signature type goodies. They just it's unmistakable. I mean, people, there are people that said one way or the other, it's not a Zelda game, whatever. No, to me, it is 100% a Zelda game. It is every bit the original merged with Ocarina of Time turned into an open world format. That's exactly what they were going for, and I think they absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, it almost makes all that waiting worth it, doesn't it?
Oh. That was way too much waiting.
See, I benefited because being not a Zelda fan, I had 0 hype level for this game. And I was just like, hey, your precious Zelda game got delayed again. And then and then was pleasantly surprised.
And then you rent it, and then decide you have to buy it.
Yeah, that was what the first game I rented for Switch was Breath of the Wild, because I was like, man, people are really talking about this game. I guess I should look. And I mean, that's another thing about it that makes it my personal game of the year is I've wanted for years to like a Zelda game, and I've played many Zelda games and just could not get into any of them. And this game, I'm like, this is amazing. I can't believe I'm playing a Zelda game. I've always wanted to like Zelda. Yeah.
It's a long game, and it's the first one I haven't gotten bored through halfway through since the first two. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
So, Momo, you weren't gonna buy Breath of the Wild, then what were you gonna play in the beginning when you first got you got Switch on day one, right?
I bought Switch day one on the hope that it would be a good system, and I knew that eventually there would be something. The only thing I bought day one was Bomberman. Which is funny.
What about Snipper Clips? Didn't you pick that up also?
I did pick that up in the eShop, yeah. And that was one though that I think I got the demo.
And Puyo Puyo Tetris pretty soon after. Right?
Yeah, that was a pretty early release as well. But I remember standing in line outside the store and some guy was just like, having the little weird chats that you have when there's a group of 20 people that are obviously like little children waiting for the store to open up so they can get their new toy. And he's like, is anyone here not getting Zelda? And then I was the only one, of course. It's like, I'm not. He's like, what are you getting? I'm like, I'm getting the Switch. I'm getting Bomberman and the Switch and a screen protector.
Did we all buy the Switch hoping it was going to be a hit? I was, I'm always buying each Nintendo console assuming it just might be their last.
Yeah, I mean, I bought it just on the faith that I really thought the Wii U was great. I thought obviously the 3DS was great. Yeah. Like for the games that I had that were there on the Wii U, I was completely satisfied that it was a great system.
And I knew that the Switch was what pissed me off. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was just kind of that once Nintendo realized it was not going anywhere, which really was pretty early on. It became the indie shovelware machine, as you like to regularly gripe about, Mo. It was an eShop loaded up with crap, just whatever we can sell on this thing to get some return on our investment. And I don't know. I felt as a consumer, I felt as a core, Nintendo fan that we were being pretty well slighted for the second half of that.
Yeah. Well, the Wii U is like the lonely kid at school who will be friends with anyone that will be friends with him because he doesn't have any friends. So he just picks up all these indie titles. It's like, look what we have. We've got 5 more $1 games coming out this week. And I'm a little afraid at some of the icons that I see in the Switch eShop.
Yeah, no, agreed.
But at least there's a lot. Like I talked about earlier, like it's refreshing to look at the best sellers list right now on the eShop, and there's 5 titles. Out of the top 5, only one of them is a Nintendo game. Where there's like, I think it's like Mario Odyssey right now, Rocket League, Stardew, Doom, and Sonic Forces. But like, just even see Rocket League and Doom, like, it's the day that you weren't sure was ever going to happen again. So.
Yeah.
And the internet lit up on the launch of Doom, right? That's just still such big news on a Nintendo platform. Again, that it runs on a handheld is like just that in itself is a big deal. The fact that it runs on a Nintendo platform is a big deal. Yeah. And the fact that it really was a hell of a good game.
One. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a great game, and it's just to have a title like that. That's like it's one of those prestige titles. Mm-hmm. Like that game Doom, we've got that.
I mean, it's one of those things. To me, that says that the Switch is equivalent to, at least a basic base level PC that can run Steam. It's equivalent to if it's the same as if I can run Doom on my computer with most of the graphic settings turned off, I can still enjoy the game. I can still play the game, and I'm not, I used to have an old crappy machine. I recently got a nice fancy new video card, but for a few years there, right? I was used to that, playing, even a few-year-old games on like all settings turned off, and all right, it's playable, it's good. I can still enjoy it. I'm not. I don't feel like I'm missing out much.
As people who have been playing Nintendo consoles for years, it's not like, obviously we don't demand the highest tech specs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as long as it's better than whatever was on the last generation of Nintendo consoles, we're happy.
And again, not to beat a dead horse from March of this year, but it's still plenty surprising that this thing is, by all accounts, from various developers who've been able to squeeze a lot more out of it, this thing is more powerful, even in handheld mode, than the Wii U was, overall. And that's just shocking. But that also tells you how much they spent on that whole Wii U gamepad and how much they sacrificed on the console itself.
Yeah, and it helps that they're using a much more friendly architecture to design for as well than they have in the past.
Yep.
Where
totally,
so you don't have to learn Nintendo's Nintendo software. Everyone who's ported stuff has said it's kind of simple. They can do it quickly for the most part.
And the GPU using a very, very standard GPU for the first time in a while is a similarly big deal.
Yeah, so far they're nailing it, man. I'm excited just to see what's going to be coming out in the next year. Like this time next year, who knows what kind of games will have come out for it. Hopefully they just keep trickling in.
I honestly think our minds will be blown by this time next year. If we could see ahead, we would never believe what we saw. I hope, because looking.
Whenever I think that way, I'm always disappointed.
Yeah. Well, you don't know. I mean, it seems like it's hard for,
at least with Nintendo.
Like, they can't replicate this year. This really was the year of Nintendo for Nintendo. Like, Breath of the Wild, like I said, I feel like that's a special title that you're not going to get on the Switch again. Like, that's a once a generation game. Yeah.
They've kind of told us that. Expect different game experiences in the coming year.
Yeah.
So I think that means no more Mario or.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. I don't need a Mario or a Zelda every year.
It means they're going to push more motion controls.
Probably.
Yeah, that's kind of what I feel. Or just more obscure titles, or something. But they can't have the year that they had this year. This year
they can't
all in and said, here's our biggest stuff.
Think about it this way, though. Smash and Prime could potentially drop next year. Both of those.
Yeah.
That's almost as big as Zelda, Kart, Splatoon, and Mario. If they pepper it in with a few other good, solid, first party titles. And again, the third parties really seem to be on board. I really hope Bethesda sees some return on their numbers. I hope LA Noire does well. If I had the time, I would totally pick it up. I just don't have the time to play any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I've still got to finish up Mario, and then I've got to put in some time to at least say I did on Sonic Forces, and we'll see how that goes.
3 hours.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's too much commitment.
Just keep putting in sleep mode. You'll get through it eventually.
Couple of trips to the bathroom, you've got it, man.
Yeah. Depending on what you ate that day.
Yeah. But yeah, they have recently, as a little side bit of news there, I saw that they have applied for a patent for Smash Brothers or something recently, so that's very possible in the future. Of course, that could be anything.
Yeah. I think that's got to be coming out. I think everybody knows it. It's almost like just completely expected. I don't know if I personally want it. Like, I don't think I can. Like Mario Kart, I could justify because the kid, but Smash she's not gonna play. So I mean, I think I got mine, but there is a whole group of people that weren't on the previous generations that would like to have Smash and can only get it one way. So
Smash a couple times a year, for me, the family thing, it will be a necessity.
Oh yeah. for Switch.
Yeah, it was. I mean, for 2 or 3 years running, it was pretty much
game.
what everybody. Yeah, it was the game of at least my family Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Let me clarify
And at
what
least one Chinese New Year.
What you guys are talking about. You're talking about a new Smash title, not a
Oh no,
deluxe version.
I don't think they're gonna do a new one. I think they're gonna do a deluxe.
Really?
Well, here's
I
what
don't expect a new Smash.
Remember, the previous Smash Brothers was Super Smash Brothers for 3DS, Super Smash Brothers for Wii U.
Right.
It's just, I think they're just Super Smash Brothers Switch. It even kind of sounds good.
Yeah.
Alliteration.
I mean, I don't expect another one for like a new from the ground up.
It won't be a new. No, it'll be a remix. But it'll have a few new stages. They'll have a few new fighters. You'll get all the DLC fighters probably, right? It'll be. I assume it'll be standard. I assume it's going to be pretty much like the Mario Kart. Right? Couple new tracks. Wait, does Mario Kart even come with any new track? Well,
no
Battle Mode tracks. Battle Mode tracks count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll get a few new stages, and then we'll get some DLC fighters. I think. Go ahead.
Nintendo's got a lot of money invested in titles that were good quality titles that they didn't sell quality numbers of, like Mario Kart 8. It did as well as it could do on Wii U. Pretty much everybody that had a Wii U had that game, but it was also smart. It's capped, There's only so much it could do on Wii U. So
I was going to say it's also smart they brought it out early, because it's one of those games that like 90% of people who pick up a Switch are just like, yeah, I'll pick up Mario Kart at some point, right?
Yeah, that's
it's a perfect evergreen title for like the entire lifetime of the system.
If you hadn't owned a Wii U, to be able to right out of the gate, you get Breath of the Wild, the best Zelda game to me ever, but at least in a decade or more.
When was Ocarina?
98, 97?
97, 98.
So in 20 years.
So you get that right out of the gate. Like a couple months later, you've got a Mario Kart, which if you hadn't played Mario Kart 8 before, arguably the best Mario Kart game.
I'm a big fan of 7.
There's people nostalgic for.
Better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You guys are all 3DS, huh?
Well, it's nothing to do with the 3DS. I think just something about the feel of the game. There's something.
I feel like I played the crap out of Mario Kart 7. So when 8 came out, I was just like, it's just 7 with some better graphics and stuff.
Same here. I kind of didn't give it anywhere near as much time.
So I kind of get that. I kind of get where you guys are coming with, but it's a beautiful looking game.
It is, but to me, there's every once in a while there's a fine line that Nintendo will cross into overproduction, right? Where something feels a little too Disneyfied for my taste.
Too shiny.
It's hard. Just a little too shiny. And something about Mario Kart 8 felt a little too, just like the music and everything. Somehow it felt a little too much like a Nintendo commercial, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I still love it. I still play it, and it's still great. But I don't know. Somehow 7 had a little more of an honest, real, old school Nintendo feel to me that 8 just somehow lost a little bit of.
Yeah. Yeah, I can kind of I understand where you're going with that. But if you've been out of the Nintendo systems for a while, Mario Kart 8 is a treat.
Oh no, it's again. I mean, all of us Wii U, and I jumped in late, so I have no idea how long you guys have been going, but I'm sure this one's been going way too long. But I think all of us can rattle off. Again, I mean, the Wii U, it's like the GameCube. A lot of people refer to, this great GameCube game that hardly anybody played because hardly anybody had a GameCube, right? And the Wii, same way. There's a smattering of spectacular Nintendo titles as always, that we'd all like to see. get moved over. I'd like to see a collection of some of the Donkey Kong countries, including Tropical Freeze. And
I just expect Tropical Freeze. I expect 3D World.
And you mentioned like a Pikmin collection at one point.
That would make sense to me. Although I don't know, I could see them doing it with Joy-Con control. I mean, they already did the new Play Control version for Wii of the Pikmin. So if they did like, I know I had mentioned before, like World of Goo apparently has like good pointer controls for the Joy-Con. So they could easily do that with like Pikmin, where you just had like a pointer on the screen and we're throwing them here and there with the Joy-Con. I think that would work. I might even get rid of the Pro controller for that. Temporarily put it down and switch back to the Joy-Con. Yeah, we could have Pikmin 4. They've talked about that forever. I think we brought that up last week. But
before we get lost totally in what could possibly happen, we should probably finish up our Game of the Year commentary. There was a couple more categories I thought were interesting. And the first one is Best Mobile Game. And the game listed at the top is Super Mario Run. And
obviously.
Now,
yeah, no way. I think we all can universally agree, no way.
Was Pokemon Go in that list?
No.
Because it's previous year, probably.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was like, I wasn't sure what they're...
So is technically Super Mario Run, but it came out on Android this year, so they could flub it.
Yeah.
Or maybe just because it came out so late last year. Probably.
Sorry,
go ahead, Jason.
The other Nintendo title in there is Fire Emblem Heroes, which I don't really know any of the other titles listed there, but that sounds like a pretty good contender to me. I think it's got a strong following, and they've given it good support.
I didn't get on the bandwagon for whatever reason, but you guys have a tweet storm going back and forth, and everyone seems to get very, very excited when they get is it a 5-star character or whatever that seems to be the big deal. So yeah, I mean, I definitely there's a ton of Fire Emblem business going back and forth, at least on in my friends' circles. It seems like that one of any of them has gotten the most buzz, but again, I'm running in Nintendo centric circles, so I don't know how the wider world is picking it up. But you guys totally seem to be running with it, a lot of you.
What do you think, Max? I mean, you have good experience with mobile games. Do you think it's Game of the Year type quality?
I think it could be, because a lot of people really seem to love it. And like
what else is on? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Max.
No, a lot of people are playing it still after it's been out since February or March. That's a long time for a.
Yeah.
I mean, it did launch early in the year.
I'm a huge.
Well, Nintendo said that's their big one. Like, as far as of their mobile games, that's the one that's done the best so far.
I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan, and I have to say I'm kind of still surprised I'm as invested as I am in the game. It's held my attention pretty well, and I was expecting to love it. So
yeah, they keep updating it and changing it and making it better. So that helps a lot too.
So you had high expectations going in, Jason, and it's held up as far as you're concerned.
It's kind of surpassed my expectations. I thought it would be. I didn't expect it to have the support that it got.
No, not at all.
Fire Emblem has always been, that's some people play that game. It's kind of been a back burner.
Side, yeah.
And after Miitomo and Super Mario Run, it's hard to know what to expect.
Exactly.
You can't have too high hopes or something.
Yeah, I think Z was going to ask what the other mobile games were. Monument Valley 2, Hidden Folks, and Old Man's Journey. I don't know if...
I haven't even heard. Monument Valley sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't think I've heard of any of the others.
Monument Valley is where they filmed a bunch of old westerns.
Well, this is the second one, though.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in France somewhere.
Yeah, I've not heard of that one. No, yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's a huge mobile gaming community that talk to each other. I don't know if there's websites devoted to mobile games, but the only ones I ever hear about are Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I play all the Supercell business. So those are pretty big. All the Clash.
Oh, that's
variation.
right. Yeah.
And so those have a decent little community, and of course, all the games are centered around joining a clan that's kind of a little social hub, where you trade items and you can team up for battles and chat and all those kinds of things. So at its core, it's still kind of a social game. Whereas is Fire Emblem, having not touched it, as Fire Emblem, does it have a real social component to that, or is it just you have friends lists and that's kind of that?
Yeah.
It's not much beyond friends list.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not like recognizable names or anything like that I know of.
It just seems like that's so in Nintendo's wheelhouse, but at the same time, like they just are afraid that everybody's a child molester. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they added something where you could like trade characters or whatever. Because, like I said, I've not played it, so I don't know. But it seems like you just kind of randomly can get characters, and you guys sometimes get good ones, but never really the ones you want, or rarely the ones you want.
That's good.
Well, can you guys trade cards or whatever? There's no trading or anything?
No.
That would be a whole other social component that would be worth adding to the game. It's just right. Nintendo or Miitomo was an entire app built around a social component. Why can't they build some social component into these other games? Why does everything have to be its own little pocket? Why does the friggin' voice chat have to be?
Has there been a Fire Emblem that was like multiplayer ever?
No.
Well, again, but I mean, but a phone game in the modern age, at least all the phone games I've ever played, or like the wife's gotten into, are ones that at least have some sort of social component, either Facebook integration so that you have your little online Facebook friends, leaderboards and whatever at the very least. But right, even those games have some
Mario
kind of
one's got
thing where you can send somebody a request for something, right? You get those annoying requests from people on Facebook for games you don't have.
Yeah.
Right. There's all this social stuff that's built into your standard. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right. There's a little bit, but right, all these kind of things have been built into your standard mobile games for years and years. And I don't know, that's what hasn't grabbed me about a lot of these things. I can add you guys all to my friend list, but otherwise I have to actually want to play the game. And but if there was some reason to open the game to interact with you guys, all right, then I'm suddenly a lot more motivated to do it.
Yeah. Who knows? I bet you'll at least give Animal Crossing a shot.
I think we all will.
That one does, yeah. That one looks the most. I'm going to try to sell the wife on that as well, because she had never touched an Animal Crossing game before New Leaf, and she had a good solid, couple 100 hours or something experience with it. So.
We already mentioned ARMS for Best Fighter, which I'm just going to say no.
If it somehow gets in, we'll know it's rigged.
Yeah.
I don't. What else?
What are the other contenders? Yeah, what is it up against?
Give me just
I think it just said ARMS was it, right?
Street Fighter V got a lot of kind of mixed reviews, but that was last year anyway, I think.
Yeah.
Best fighting game is Tekken 7.
Oh, Tekken.
Nidhogg 2, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Injustice 2.
Yeah, it's gotta be any of
those. Those are all heavy duty titles.
Yeah, those are all better than ARMS.
There was a lot of that third party stuff that ended up super cheap that I picked up on download, like on the eShop. Like I think I got Injustice for $7.
Yeah.
The first one, and it's $7. Same thing with Darksiders 2.
Yeah.
I bet I can probably get the Darksiders 1 for similarly $7. I think I saw that already. Right, that title.
I know people were hyped for Injustice.
And I think I don't think it lived up to the hype, the first one, so much. But yeah, Injustice 2 people, I don't know. I think it seems like sometimes that hype is artificially generated. That's the vibe I got about Injustice 2, but I might be wrong.
If it was most unique fighter, Arms would probably get it.
Cutest fighter.
Best. I mean, we've all, for the most part, except for maybe Max, and I don't know about Eric, but for the most part, we've all at least played the demo of Arms.
Yeah, I played the demo.
And out of all of us, I think Z's the only one that owns it. So.
And I have a good time with it. But, I mean, you guys see my playlist.
Yeah, I thought it was a good game, but when you're talking about best, it's like Zelda. I'm not a Zelda fan. I bought Zelda. I am a fan of fighting games, and I didn't buy Arms.
And again, as we like to point out, it came out immediately sandwiched between two games you did buy, which were Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon
2.
Less than a month before and after, I think.
It was I mean, I might have bought it had there been nothing else going on. Yeah. Possibly. I don't know.
There are a couple. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask what else was there? I'm sure Zelda and Odyssey were probably in half a dozen categories.
There is a couple of categories that were dominated by Nintendo games. Best family game, we've got Splatoon 2, Sonic Mania, Mario plus Rabbids, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Super Mario Odyssey.
Ooh,
Odyssey.
I'll say Odyssey is probably gonna take that. Yeah. It'll get the courtesy win on that since it's not gonna get best game.
Yeah.
I feel Sonic deserves to win something this year.
Yeah.
I don't know about family game. Although, well, I don't know. Me and the kid played Sonic the other day.
Sonic gets a most improved badge.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, congratulations on making your first good game in how many years?
Thanks for the generation.
There's also a category for best Chinese game, which I thought was odd. Never seen that
one that's coming to Switch.
The Tencent
best Chinese game is its own category.
Yeah, can you believe that? That's weird.
See, best family game seems like
that's probably
a title that Nintendo made up.
I can see best Chinese game because there's a lot of games that are pretty much available only in China. So I'll assume it has to be a China exclusive to be in that category. And again, China's a big market that everybody's trying to crack into. By the way, is this the Game Awards? Whose list is
Game? Yeah, the Game Awards.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to be able to go to that this year.
Where is it?
It's in LA.
Last year it was Vegas.
Which I don't mind. I don't mind mentioning that I'm near. By the way, you don't need to edit that out.
But you went to the Game Awards. Was it last year or was it 2 years ago?
I went 2 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was fun. It was interesting. Huh? It was the same place. I think it's unless it's moved. It's been the Microsoft Theater down in LA.
Didn't they do it? They did it in Vegas one year, didn't they?
Prior to here, I believe it was in Vegas. Yeah, I went.
I went to that one.
Yeah, the first year they moved to LA, I think it was the first year they'd moved to LA. I went the year before last. It was interesting. So okay, so you went. So was it the same experience where it was a largely empty theater?
Yeah, it was largely empty. Yeah.
And they have all like the paid people up front that look like the crowd, but they're obviously they're either friends or whatever, or they're paid. And like every so often a coach runs out like in between commercial breaks or whatever to like tell them real quick what to do next.
Yeah, hype up the crowd. Reggie was there in person.
The rest of us sit in the back, the cold, dark back of the theater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to see Reggie
was
too.
There in person. Yeah.
Who else did we get to see? We get to see Kiefer Sutherland.
I think. Yeah. Why was he there? That was weird. Why was he?
Because he's been the voice.
There's a new 24 game.
Oh yeah.
No. He's been the voice of like
Metal
Solid
Gear.
Snake and what? Yeah, he's the Metal Gear Solid guy for a couple games. The other one we got to see was Shaq to announce the Shaq Fu reboot, which I'm still waiting on, but I'm supposed to get for free because I bought NBA Playgrounds.
Yeah,
I want to check out that Shaq Fu reboot, man.
I went to a forum the other day because I got to thinking the other day about how I haven't heard anything about NBA Playgrounds in so long. And that was like one of those games that the Switch eShop was so empty at one point I thought about buying, and I know a couple of you guys did.
I bought it because I had all my local buddies around here picked it up and actually put some time into it and had a good time with it. Yeah. It was well reviewed, but I didn't hardly touch it.
And the latest comment was, "I'm still waiting for Shaq Fu."
Yeah, totally, man. No, I did recently, within the last week or two, I totally read a report saying that there was some new update on the horizon they announced for the Switch.
Yeah. I don't know, if you're into basketball, you're probably going with the other basketball game that's out right now.
NBA 2K.
It depends what you want. If you want just a fun, mess around, arcadey.
That's true.
NBA Playgrounds is cute. It's fun, man. It's like,
you know what it reminds me of?
It's an hour like on it. It's a good time.
What Fast RMX is to F-Zero, NBA Playgrounds is to NBA Jam. It's like close, but it's not quite it.
Okay, fair enough.
Like I don't know. I almost bought it, and then I had a friend who owned it, who was just kind of telling me that he was frustrated with the controls and everything. And
Nah, a buddy of mine who's not the sharpest tool in the shed had no problem adapting. Of course, this is the guy that was, when he was bedridden for a good month, played all the way through Star Fox Zero and loved it. So his opinion may be suspect.
And he also has the best Miitomo answers.
His one word. Yeah. Totally nonsensical half the time answers. Or his answer will just be no.
No answer.
No. Just some very complicated, existential question. No.
The Game Awards, what is Game of the Year? It's another awards show that doesn't mean anything. Yeah. And everybody will have their own. It's like, I've put twice as much time into Splatoon 2 as I've put into Breath of the Wild at this point. But it's also a title that you keep coming back in. But I certainly
it's also
wouldn't
a nominee.
say Oh, I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
It was best family game.
Yeah.
Best family game and best multiplayer, I think.
And I don't think it'll win either, but
no.
anything that nominees is the bigger list than the winners, really. Right? Yeah. Anything on the nominee list is an honorable mention, a game probably worth at least looking into.
Except Super Mario Run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That's because Reggie says you want to put that on the list or else.
Fair enough.
Is that nominated for?
That's
best disappointment.
These Game Awards things, right? These are what I keep in the back of my mind later when the Humble Bundles roll around and I can get a few of these for $1.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's just a couple months ago, a couple of the games that I remember from the awards that I went to a year and a half ago, or a year and a half ago ish, almost 2 years ago now. Right. A couple of those came up on a Humble Bundle for $1. All right. I paid my $1. It's like, all right, oh yeah, Her Story. I remember that one. That was a weird video game where you're like kind of interviewing a woman about a murder or something. Like, it looked interesting. It was apparently very well acted and, got a lot of rave reviews. All right, I'll pick that up in a bundle with 5 other games for $1. Maybe I'll mess with it. So I don't know. The Game Awards, there's value in it to me. It's just kind of gets some buzz around some certain games that are good that people are all talking about or have been.
Yeah.
It'll be good this year for them to say, "Hey, everybody, just want to let you know Nintendo's making good games again."
And it's a place for.
Weren't.
And it's a place. Yeah, it's a place for developers to whip out their schlongs and you know, and publishers and whatever. And it's
make
it
vague
is a good.
reveals.
Yeah, and it's a good place, right? Nintendo is really on a roll, being a buzz machine right now, so it's a good place for them to do that.
Yeah.
Does anyone know when exactly the Game Awards are?
Usually early December, right?
Okay.
First or second week of December, I thought.
I thought it was November, but I don't know. He'll
They might
say
have
it on
moved
Twitter.
Let's see, because right, they usually, I think they wait until after all the big Christmas release games drop. Oh yeah, Cuphead. Cuphead's amazing. If they can pull Cuphead off on Switch, I will so buy that.
I wonder if we'll ever. I know right now. I think it's console exclusive to
and
Xbox,
Steam.
but it's going to be on
PC.
Steam as well. But who knows how long that exclusivity is? It might only be a year. I think at some point we'll see it on Switch.
Yeah, if it gets cheap, I may end up not picking it up on Switch if it gets cheap enough on Steam soon enough. Anybody who has, I don't know what the requirements are, but it doesn't seem like requirements should be too terrible.
I doubt it.
If you've got a decent PC, I would imagine it's worth picking that one up. If you guys haven't seen Cuphead, it's just like a 2D. It's kind of a hard, old school, kind of Super Meat Boy-ish, but it's all like 1920s style animation, and it's beautiful. It's just like hand drawn, gorgeous. It looks like a 1920s cartoon.
Cartoon Contra.
It even does the film grain and the whole. Yeah, it's has the goofy music, and it's beautiful.
Hand drawn animations. Yeah,
that's
it looks
definitely
great.
That's got to win some awards.
I'd definitely pick it up if it came out on Switch ever.
PUBG has become an acronym for like a type of game already. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
So like you see it all over the place. Oh, it's a PUBG type game. So that's another one that's been a big deal this year.
Just another Pooh Bug game coming out. Yeah. Does anybody have any game of the year other than Zelda this year?
Other than Zelda?
Oh.
I only play Nintendo games, so I mean that's pretty much the best.
See, and that's our problem. That's why I think Zelda is quite a contender, but I think Battlegrounds is as well. I don't know, but I think Zelda's got it. Zelda's got the budget. Zelda's got years and years of development. A lot of these things are a neat idea and great execution, but they're not an entire game the way Zelda was. Right? PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is a very neat, it's a very well done version of kind of this core basic animalistic concept, and it should be, and it has been well rewarded for that. It's a very well done game, but it's not however many years they spent building that world in Zelda and just placing everything just right. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how many obsessively OCD designers went endlessly back and forth over that map, putting, let's move this rock over here a little bit, but you can feel it when you play the game.
Well, yeah, even from the debut trailer, like when they first revealed some gameplay footage of it to the final build, people actually went and were like, let's see if we can find the place from the trailer. And they're like, here we are. As you can see, this mountain has moved over here now. And so, yeah, I mean, they were getting everything just perfect for that. I'm sure all the ones that are Game of the Year nominees, people poured their heart and soul into forever.
Yeah.
And I will also say, I don't know. And again, we are Nintendo centric. I don't know if any game trailer. Can you think of a game trailer that's ever been as good as that Zelda game trailer? A launch trailer from the Switch reveal?
Oh, yeah. Is that the one with the cinematic of the horse? And like you're riding the horse and you jump off and shoot the guardian. That one?
No.
Or are you talking about the
I don't
actual?
mean that. I mean
You mean the
actual
actual one?
The actual
one.
movie style game trailer. That pretty much blew everybody's minds, right? Remember he's and we have one more thing to show you. Threw it in at the end of their presentation.
It's hard for me
right?
to remember. I still didn't care at that point. I was
And
just like,
you're
hey,
yourself.
your dumb Zelda game got a name now.
And it's kind of a lame
wind
name.
or breath or something.
Yeah, the break of the wind.
Break of the wind. Man, yeah, that is a bizarre name, but we've all forgiven it.
Yeah, we all just totally glossed over how stupid that name is. And how it in any way relates to the game.
They should have called it Breath of the Wild with a D.
That would have worked.
See, that would have worked.
The Legend of Zelda, the climbing one.
Yeah, they could have called that too.
The climbing one, yep.
Waiting for
Zelda climbing simulator. 1.0.
Waiting for the rain to stop. I like that.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. The Legend of Zelda Waiting for the Rain. That would have been spot on. That would have been great.
Like the promo would have been Link sitting beside a mountain with a grumpy look on his face.
You guys remember the meme of Mufasa with the little stamina meter running out?
Oh yeah.
That's still awesome.
It was Mufasa hanging on the side of the
mountain
with his thing.
Before Scar kicks him off or whatever. And
Spoilers.
The little stamina. Yeah, just for all the kids out there who haven't seen
20-year-old movie.
Mufasa dies. Sorry. Yeah, he's got the little stamina meter with one little red sliver left, and he's got the look on his face. It's perfect.
Yeah, what a game. What a year. What a game of the year. We'll see.
Yeah, for a Nintendo fan, it has been a hell of a year, even for those of us with Wii U's who have been repeatedly kicked in the balls.
Yeah. I'm just happy to have some stuff to play and some stuff frequently to play. There's always something new coming out.
Yeah.
Few batches of the year now. But I'm sure there's plenty of surprises. Hopefully we get Netflix.
There's not many surprises left. I'm calling it. I don't think there's hardly any surprises left before the end of the year.
Give me Netflix. Give me YouTube. Give me some
okay. Now, to me, that won't be a surprise based on what Hulu said. It sounds like the other services should just be rolling on in.
Yeah,
they'll be randomly dropped one day. Mm-hmm. Just one day they'll randomly be dropped onto the console.
Yeah.
Go download it now.
Yeah.
Late December.
And I don't know if you guys covered that. Hulu said it was just they were waiting for some encryption to be enabled. Something to do with the DLC, the digital rights management for streaming video.
Right.
And Nintendo just hadn't enabled it to the last update. So everyone was kind of just waiting on that.
Maybe Hulu's got some sort of deal where there'll be the only streaming service for a certain amount of time or something, but
I kind of doubt it. They made it sound like they just jumped on it first. And if that's the case, then the other ones should be showing up within a week.
Well, Netflix already said, was it last month or months ago that they've got the app. It's been made. They were just waiting for Nintendo to allow them to put it on. So,
what I kind of assumed, I don't know. I kind of read from this that's what they were waiting for was the for Nintendo to enable the proper features necessary to do it. So hopefully that means they'll be right on. And hey, Hulu's experienced a renaissance around here since it's the only thing I can carry around with me on the tablet.
Just to call back briefly, we did mention you earlier in your absence. Did you get your Hulu stuff straightened out?
Or you know what?
You had some trouble with it.
I think it might have just been because I was, I downloaded it immediately, and it seemed like the first few hours it wasn't quite up yet. So I tried it again a few
Okay.
hours later. No problem. Fired up, connected.
Worked fine. Looks good. No problem.
Yeah, and it doesn't. You don't log in as yourself to play it, right? Like 1-2 switch. So you know, like so that's it's funny. That's what I've been running on my Switch primarily the last few days. But you guys have no idea from my friend list. It looks like I've just been offline.
It's an invisible app
Yeah.
or doesn't show up in your feed.
That's funny. And then when you log into Hulu, I have profiles that correspond to all of my, you know, character icons on my Switch. But whatever.
Well, I feel like we've probably run through
Run
every
way too
topic
long.
possible this year or this night.
Yep.
Oh, yep. Microsoft Theater, December 7th, 2017, by the way.
That's right.
Game Awards.
You're right.
Oh, Game Awards.
So we'll find out our answer next month, after late November.
And I'll bet you Nintendo will have a special announcement.
Yes.
And then it'll be like, hey, we released a game called Odyssey.
And let's see. Yeah, we can do our predictions. December 7th is probably a Friday, I'm guessing. Oh, no, it's a Thursday.
Isn't that a date that will live in infamy?
Yeah, that is.
It's Pearl Harbor Day, isn't it?
So yeah, it'll be shortly after our podcast, so we can do predictions
Yeah.
for that. That'll be fun.
Good stuff.
Sounds good. All right.
Well, thanks for tuning in tonight, everyone. As always, thanks for watching. You can check us out on Twitter at NOA Podcast, on Stitcher, iTunes, and of course right here on YouTube. Love to hear from you. Tell us what you think will be Game of the Year this year. Till next time, see you later.
Good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Night.
Have a good night.